Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Wolf, you got me.
I got you, pal.
Right on. We are live right now. That race that you just watched was just some artificial intelligence. But anyway, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Justice for Canon 220. Hey, man. Well, you've been working on this thing for a long time.
Absolutely, man. It's really good to be here. Thank you, Blaine. I appreciate that. As you said, I am Brian Wolf, and we are here to have some fun tonight. You're going to see some pretty exciting stuff. Before we get to all that, we're going to talk a little bit about, we want to bring up a little bit about the league formed about 8 months ago, back in December. Me and Cannon have been having so much fun racing here and having a blast under this format. We'll explain that to you. The format is we're going to do 5 quick 10-lap sprint races with no cautions on and no damage to be had on the cars. So this is pretty much put it on the floor, steer, hang on, and hope for the best type of racing in this format. It's extremely difficult to hold a straight line and all those things, but it really does get exciting, and we hope that you'll enjoy that part. And then afterwards, we're going to have a 38-lap main. And the reason we're doing this tonight is to honor Cannon Hinnant, our little friend from Wilson, North Carolina, back in August of 2020, and I have the unfortunate task of kind of introducing Cannon to and who he is. Unfortunately, he was murdered by a neighbor on August 9th of 2020, and he was taken from us way too soon. We're here to honor him tonight, and we wanted you, the viewer, to get to know Cannon and come to love him like we do, because this family, as who you'll meet tonight, has suffered just such a tragedy. And from all of us here at the League, we want to we can't convey enough our deepest, most heartfelt condolences to the family still to this day. And Cannon's case, we're not going to touch on that in too much detail, but just know that we are fighting. We're out here saying his name. In just a few minutes, I'm going to give it back to Blaine, and we're going to take you, the viewer, also behind the scenes a little bit. We're going to sit in on the drivers' meeting and stuff, and you're going to get to meet the drivers. And all the paint schemes that these guys have brought together are just incredible. Just incredible, and each one has a kind of a backstory pertaining to Cannon. So we're hoping you're going to get to know Cannon and come to love him like we do. Excuse me, just 1 second. Blaine, I'll let you take over for a second.
No problem. See if my microphones are working. See if my microphones are working all right. Yeah, this race, it's been a long time in the making. A lot of people came together to make this thing happen. So hopefully it goes out without any glitches. Last year we had a couple small ones, nothing too crazy. A lot more surprises for you behind the scenes this time. Updated some graphics, live tickers, everything else. We pretty much got it working 100%. All I've really been doing the last couple of weeks has just been testing this thing like crazy. So hopefully we can bring you guys super fun, exciting, and just basically have a good night. We're gonna be here for a few hours. So these sprint races are nice little warm-up races for the big main event. We're calling it the Forever 5 sprint races. So if you do have to step away, grab a bite to eat, do what you gotta do. Don't worry about it. In approximately an hour and a half from now, which I believe should be the timing, approximately an hour and a half from now, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that will be the main event. And that, as you can see on the screen there, 38-lap race. This is 101 miles around this thing. Cautions will be on, damage will be on, penalties will be on. So that's the real deal. The sprints are a lot of fun, no damage, and just a mad dash to the checkered flag. Each sprint being about 10 laps, usually averages about 8 or 9 minutes in total. So where'd Brian go? You still there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that, Blaine. I had to.
No
I was
problem.
yeah, going dry there. I had to get something to drink. I do apologize for that. But anyhow, yeah, these races are going to be fun. The Forever 5 Canon sprint races are going to be just a blast. I mean, it's door to door, bumper to bumper, you know. But a couple things about Canon actually that we need to really get out of the way. And like I said, I have the unfortunate task of kind of giving the reason why we're here. And like I said before, we are here to honor Blake Hinnant, who was tragically, just senselessly, we lost him to gun violence. And you know what? I agree with his mother, Bonnie. It's just not fair. It's not fair. And the other thing that's really that's really unfair about this is the fact that how the mainstream media, treated this family at a time when we really needed that. You know what I mean? Because we need to say his name. People need to hear Cannon's name over and over and over again to whoever will listen. Because the one thing that we need to make clear and get this right out of the way is that this crime was not a racially motivated crime. I'll say it again. This crime was not racially motivated. It happened right at a time when the whole George Floyd thing was going on, and it's just not fair that the mainstream media ignored this family. So that's kind of why we're here. We want to spread awareness and put a stop to this gun violence and this senseless stuff, This is, unacceptable. It is unacceptable. Where's everybody else to say this is unacceptable? Well, we're saying it. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to do it in a fun way. We're going to, learn some things about Cannon tonight through the paint schemes that'll show up. And we're just going to have a ball racing. I know he's going to have a ball with this. And we're just going to have fun.
Cannon's name and image are definitely all over this broadcast, so it won't be hard to find them.
Right, yeah, and that's the other thing too. Blake Hinnant is a registered trademark and cannot be used without written or otherwise consent from Bonny Parker. So we'll get that out of the way too.
That's also all over this broadcast too.
Yeah, right. So we want to thank her, especially for sharing Cannon with us and letting us honor him this way and actually being a part of it, as you'll see here in just a few minutes. And we got a lot of shout outs to do. Blaine, first of all, we have to thank, I want to thank you, actually, because without you, we couldn't do this.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Right, and it's because of this that if we could reach one person, just one person who hasn't heard of Cannon, and then that person tells one more person who, you know what I mean? That's our goal, man. We just want to say his name. That's all we want, and we want justice. You know what I mean? There is no amount of justice that would be fair. For what's happened here, and we just want Cannon and his family to know that there are people out here who care, and we're doing things, and we want to keep his name, his spirit, and his memory alive. As long as I'm alive, I take his name to my grave.
How long have you been playing this game? You've been playing it for a while, and then you got on the Cannon, kind of got you back into this whole deal.
That's true. He actually kind of saved my whole sim racing career. I was at a point where, and this was, like I said, back in August, I was going to hang it up in 2020, and then I read Cannon's story, and that's kind of how I got to know Cannon. Was I learned that he loved go-karts and his bike and things that went fast. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, this was just the coolest little kid. It's all in his name, even just his name, Cannon. He was a unique, special kid, and it's just. It's just I'm gonna get choked up here if I don't stop and talk more about this race, maybe.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. Like you play a game like this or a simulation like this for so long, and then it does get it burns out every once in a while. Like I've put it down and picked it back up again, but it's kind of neat to do what we're doing and put his name on the cars. And there's a few guys out here tonight. We'll go through these cars, by the way, when this first sprint race starts. We will run around the track, and you'll see some of the different paint schemes that Rodney Sellens, myself, and Bernie Mobs have painted for these things. And it's cool because it's all superhero motivated, of course. What little kid doesn't dig the superheroes?
Yeah, that's just awesome too. We have actually a few painters. I'm sorry, I got somebody whispering on me. excuse me. Yeah, the painters here, Rodney Solins, Bernie Mobbs, yourself, a couple of these guys have painted their own cars. I give those guys so much credit, man. They did such a great job with this. In fact, Rodney Solins painted the car you'll see me drive tonight, the one I've had pretty much all season. So
that car is actually featured.
I'm getting interrupted. I'm sorry. I'm getting interrupted on this.
No,
whisper. Yeah. I'm sorry. And I keep losing my train of thought. But yeah, the painters and everybody that contributed here tonight. I got to thank Cannon's aunt Ellie Acock and Archie. They were big contributors to this. You know, I know they've been out here just waiting for this thing, and we've been going back and forth. And she donated some things. You know, she was a big contributor to this. The league owners themselves, you know, Jeffrey Elliott, Chris Elliott. And those guys, they contributed a lot. I even had a girl from work do my printing for me on a couple things. And I'm getting called away. I'll be right back, Blaine. I'm sorry if you can keep going.
Yep, no problem. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are behind this thing. We've got so many cool things. Like there was actually trophies that were made. I believe it was Crossbow, Doug, and his wife Sherry. They helped us behind the scenes as well. So trophies will actually be up for grabs tonight. There is a set of trophies for the winner of the sprint races. So these 5 quick sprint races that will lead up to the main event. In those 5 races, we will keep track of the points, and I'll do my best to display that on the screen as it happens. The winner of those sprints to get a physical trophy with, I always want to call him Crossbow, with Doug and Sherry. Doug's nickname in the game is Crossbow. With Doug and Sherry doing what they did, Brian will now be able to actually produce a physical trophy to the winner of the sprint. And of course, there is a different trophy. It's probably bigger. You know, if the sprint trophy is a 6-inch trophy, the winner of the main event will probably get an 8-inch one. But they're pretty cool looking. Unfortunately, we couldn't get any really good photographs of them to show you guys this evening. However, if you do subscribe to this channel, I'm going to do my YouTube thing right now. Oh, sorry, Brian. I'm holding my whisper button down. Just holler at me when you're able to talk again.
Okay, I can go right now.
Oh, okay. I thought you were still busy with somebody else. But yeah, if you do subscribe to this YouTube channel, there's a little bell there. And if you turn your notifications to all, we will have photos of those trophies, and we will implement them into like highlight reel videos, which we will be releasing over the next few weeks once this night is over with. So very cool stuff, and a lot of top quality assistance behind the scenes to get this thing working in form of trophies and donations from the Acocks, and there's tons of stuff. You know more about the behind the scenes stuff than I do there, Brian, so go ahead.
Right, yeah. I almost forgot. Well, I got interrupted there, and I apologize for that. Doug Milewski, the guy we affectionately call Crossbow, has donated actually 2 trophies. One for the Forever 5 Sprints winner, and one for the main event winner. And we've also got another little surprise. We'll let that go later on. But yeah, we've got some really cool stuff going on for tonight. In just a few minutes, we're going to actually take the viewers behind the scenes at right about 7:15, and we're going to sit in on the drivers' meeting that we have. So all the drivers will be there live. Hopefully, they won't do anything silly, but you will hear my little speech to them, and you'll hear our official drivers' meeting, and then right after that, we've put together a very, very special video presentation of all of our pre-race ceremonies, including a special guest and a national anthem and a flyover and things of that nature. And then we're going to go green right at 7:30. So this is going to be very exciting.
That is one word for it, and hopefully stress-free evening for you, sire, because I know you've been a little bit on edge about this thing for a while. I mean, me too. It's a lot trying to make sure all systems are go, but you got to have fun and race this thing. Get that cannon car to the end.
Absolutely. In fact, let me go for just a second. I'm going to whisper, and we're going to go up there and listen in on the drivers' meeting. I'll let you know when we're coming.
Awesome. Yeah, this should be pretty cool. Basically, they'll have a drivers' meeting. They'll explain the rules to the drivers, of course, and they just run down the rules of the race, because all these cars will be driven by actual people. We're not racing against computer-controlled opponents. This is real people sitting at real computers, holding on to real video game controllers that are shaped like steering wheels. So it's some serious business.
Hey, Brian, Blaine Donlin will not be racing, right?
Okay, here we go.
We'll do that race. I'm telling you. Yeah.
Okay, guys, if I could have your attention for just a minute. This is Wolf speaking. We're about to do our drivers meeting. Blaine and I are up in from the broadcast booth. We are live on YouTube, so we're going to go through our drivers meeting, and then I'll have a little something to say, and then 7:30 we're going to be going green. So be at the ready with any questions you might have or anything like that. I'm going to hand it over to Bob Dixon.
38 laps, Bob.
And to answer your question, Bob, Blaine Donlin am not racing.
Thank you.
Drivers meeting will begin shortly. Currently got a couple dozen people watching this thing, so we'd like to thank you for joining us tonight for the Justice for Cannon 220. What does the 220 stand for? Well, if it's a 101 mile...
Yes, we are ready for Bob Dixon whenever you're ready.
The sprint, all the racing together,
Okay,
totals
sorry.
220 miles.
Welcome, guys, to the Justice for Cannon race tonight at Talladega Nights. Thank everybody for coming out. Tonight we're going to race for 37 laps. Pit road speed is 55 mile an hour. Enter and exit pit road as the game allows. No talking during the qualification time. Please limit your conversation to race chat during the race. Casual chat's okay under the yellow flag. Please, no flaming, no bad language whatsoever. We have a public audience tonight. Be careful not to block or punt in the turns during the race. Block at your own risk. Hold your position if a yellow comes out. We will race back to the line within 10 laps to go. If you're a lap down at 10 laps to go, you still must pit on the second time by. We're using double file starts and restarts. If you get a black flag on a restart, we'll clear that black flag. We also grant 2 lucky dogs in the premier race. Lucky dogs will pit on the second pass of the pits and speed down pit road to go EOLL. We'll give you a lap back at the green flag. We do not give waiver rounds, guys. If there's a wreck before one full lap is complete, we cannot restart the race tonight because it's being televised. We have to take what we got, so be careful in that first lap. We use the 2 incident rule. Park it if you cause 2 yellow flags by yourself. Alright, please note, when you go down pit road, you should try and stay as far to the right as possible. And on the track, you can low line all you wish, but you may not go below the yellow line or the white line onto the apron to pass, except for when avoiding a crash. That even means 2 wheels. Remember, we're not racing for points, but just for fun. This is a show race, but it's dedicated to young little Cannon. So hold your line and stay aware of the cars around you. Good luck, and let's have a clean race. Any questions, or I'll turn it back over to Jeff or Brian.
Thank you, Mr. Bob Dixon. Any questions from the drivers? All right. Well, thanks y'all for coming out for this awesome event. Justice for Cannon is what we're all here for. We pray for everybody that's been in this situation, and we will continue to fight every day. So we love you, Cannon, and this is for you and all the audience and family that's maybe watching. This is for you as well. So as for the drivers, guys, let's just give them a good show. That's what we're all about at Talladega Nights, and we are proud to host this event for Cannon and his family and Brian Wolf that's put all this hard work into this event. That's taken a lot of months, a lot of preparation. So we're going to do our best, and we're going to rock and roll. Let's have fun. Let's have fun with the sprint races, guys, and the main event is going to be special. So I'm going to turn it over to Chris Elliott, which is my brother. Thanks, Chris.
Here, here. Hey, thank you, Jeff. Hey, you've said everything, Jeff. I don't have anything else except we'll just do what we normally do, guys, and that's put on a good show. We do it every week for the most part, and I appreciate you all coming out. Thanks for Brian and Blaine and my brother and my Edmund, Bob, and everybody else, all you guys. Appreciate everything. Let's get going here. I guess we're doing sprint races first.
Anything Brian would like to top off?
Absolutely, absolutely. The reason I'm here tonight is just to thank all you guys. The reason you were chosen for this race, you know, there's only 21 of us, is because of your competitiveness, because of your class, and because of your experience. You guys are just the top shelf racers in this sim racing community. This is going to be a blast. You guys have all raced here before. Let's try to take care of each other out there. Take care of the guy in front of you. And I guess I'll give the rest of my little usual spiel. Around here we say please and thank you, and you're welcome. So please have a good time. Let's put on a wild one for Cannon. I know he wants this race to be as wild as possible, and I feel a good one coming on. So this is going to be fun. But yeah, take care of each other out there. You guys know we don't no finger pointing, no calling each other out. This is for fun. It's exhibition, but just do what you guys do, man. Race hard, clean, and just have some fun with it. And thank you so much for participating. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Brian. Can I say something, please?
Yes, at this time you guys can ask questions or whatever.
Brian, I just want to thank you for putting this on. You have a big heart, and it shows. And you're more of a man than most of us are in here. This is for a good cause, guys. Let's put on a good show. And like you said, let's watch the F-bombs and everything. And I know I have to watch my mouth. So let's put on a good show, guys. Let's do this. Let's have fun. Let's do this for Cannon. Justice for Cannon. Please,
for Cannon.
Guys. Justice for Cannon.
Absolutely. Amen. Amen to that.
Yeah, thank you, Brian, for this. I'm only counting 19 drivers, though. Are we missing a couple?
We may be one or two where it said they were going to come in late, and that's okay. We can introduce them later. But listen, one last thing I forgot to advise you guys of. For time purposes, what I need you to do is, if you do win one of the sprint races, go down into turn one. At the beginning of the backstretch, where it widens out a little bit, there is where you do your burnout. We don't have the time for you to go all the way around, so get off the track and do your burnout as quickly as possible. Then we reset back to 5-minute practice, and then we go again. So this is going to go fast. It's going to be furious. It's going to be a blast. Let's go do it for Cannon. Let's give him a while. Let's give him a while.
Is our radio chatter going to be going over the internet?
It will not. Blaine's about to leave us one more time. I'm going to be staying here with you guys. He'll hear my voice over the broadcast through Whisper.
I was going to mention, too, just when you do win a sprint, definitely do a burnout, because I've got a thing set up. It'll look pretty sweet on the broadcast. So, yeah, please come out of turn two and start lighting them up.
On that note, will we have time to save after we do a burnout?
Yes, you will. You're gonna have, because I have to wait for that burnout for the replay myself. That'll give Bob time enough to get the exports so we can tally the points and all that good stuff. And stick around after the race tonight. His factoids are always awesome. He gives little facts and fastest speeds and stuff about the race. So for you viewers, stick around for that. That's always fun. But yeah, let's go do what we do, guys. Let's have a good one. Let's put on a wild one for Cannon.
Let's do it. Good luck, everybody.
Awesome.
Have fun.
Thank you, Brian, again, brother.
Yeah, thank you, Brian and Blaine.
Jeffrey's going to move you.
Awesome. I'm back in the broadcast booth. Ready to rock and roll. We do have...
okay, are we ready to start our video presentation yet, Blaine?
We can start it whenever you like, sir.
It is 7:25. Go ahead and roll them. Just whisper to me when it's just about to the end.
Roger that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so now we will play an introduction video which Brian Wolf himself has put together painstakingly over the last who knows how many months. I finally got the final version 2 days ago, so we got her in just in time. So enjoy, and we'll see you shortly for Green Flag Racing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Canon Blake Hinnant's earthly resting place in Spring Hope, North Carolina. I wanted to share with you a little video footage of this beautiful place. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in downtown Wilson, North Carolina. Just look at this mural. It is breathtaking to see. This video, photographs, do it no justice. This is something you've got to see with your own eyes. If you ever come to Wilson, North Carolina, you need to find this place. It's just tremendously beautiful. And none of us are going to rest until the gavel is dropped the last time at the conclusion of a trial for the man who murdered this little boy. Did you know that he was murdered in front of his own two sisters? It's just sad, and it was done by a next door neighbor. I still never make no sense of it, but it was done. And I hope that that man gets the death penalty, but if not, he'll spend the rest of his life looking over his shoulder in prison, wondering, is the day today? So folks, love Canon Hinnant. Love him. Many of us do. We're his warriors. Hello race fans, my name is Bobby Kiker. I'm coming to you live from Spring Hope, North Carolina at the earthly resting place of Canon Blake Hinnant. Brian Wolf's asked me to give today's invocation, and I'm most happy to do that. Please join me for the invocation for today's race. Justice for Canon 220. Father in heaven, Lord, we do thank you for this day. We thank you for your mercy and grace. We thank you for blessings seen and unseen, blessings known and unknown. We thank you for all the drivers that are participating in today's race, the sponsors, all the people who's helped put this together. Lord, we praise you and thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. And I just want to continue on and say this. Canon Blake Hinnant has an army of followers. Canon's army. Would you please consider becoming one of Canon's warriors today?
And now here to perform the American National Anthem, please welcome our Galaxy Social Night Contest winner, the tiny but mighty 7-year-old singer from Los Angeles, Malaya Emma Chandragwijaya.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Can we love you?
Well, let me tell you, if anybody knows how to sing a national anthem, that is absolutely fantastic. I don't know, I can't pronounce the name of that girl, that little kid that sang that thing, but my goodness, she can definitely belt that thing out. We're just getting ready to go green here now. Yes, sir, hit it. Oh, good, my chat window's up. That's always fun. How about we turn that off? All right, the first.
Start your engine!
We are gridded up.
Yep. Okay, we're gridded up. Engines are fired. We're ready to get this first one off. Now we're gonna go. We're gonna go a full pace lap, and we also have to add in there that Cannon is actually picking. We're going random tonight, so popcorn style. So we're gonna let Cannon pick the pole setters, and lo and behold, if he didn't pick Bob Dixon the first one.
Oh, really? Bobby's on the pole.
Congratulations, Bob Dixon.
He was first.
Well, we had a glitch. My game has crashed.
Uh-oh, okay.
So figured that would happen.
All right, can you get back right away?
We are working on it. Let me see here. My game crashed, so I just sent up just a screen here now as I reboot this thing. It figures that this game never crashes. But if it was going to crash, it was going to do it tonight. So let me see here. I'll just beat my mic and get this figured. Hey, we got the game working. Yes, we are ready to go. We are live on Bob Dixon.
Okay, 10-4. All right, so as I was saying before, I don't know if it went out over the thing or not, but Cannon gets to pick the pole sitters for these 5 races. So first one tonight goes to Bob Dixon. Cannon picked that STP car with the 220 logos on it. That's pretty cool. We're going to be talking a lot about these cars. Next to him is number 22 in the camouflage Crocs. I believe that's a Chevy. Also with the race logos on it. That's really cool. We're gonna talk about him in a little while. And then the rest of the field, I don't know, Blaine, you have the list. I gotta go. I got a job to do. I'm third in line here, so we can talk about my car later. These guys have all seen my car and what's on it. So let's get a race in here, man. We'll talk about this stuff in a little while.
I'll run through these cars while you get ready to rock them, man. Don't worry about it. I got it.
Go ahead. Just run down through them. Name, sponsor, and number.
So here we go. We got number 22, Greg Palmer in Crocs. I think Brian already mentioned that. We have Brian Wolf here driving the Cannon Hinnant car, number 29. Behind him, we have Number 95, John Forgione. I hope I said that properly. That'll be the Ironman rig. As you can see, there's going to be a definite superhero theme here tonight. Rodney Sullivan's in the 38 driving the Joker. Everybody loves the Joker. The Flintstones, Bobby Elliser, number 26, Dodge Challenger. Aquaman, the 00, driven by Kelly Buckshot Cossey. We got another Blake Hinnant car here, driven by Pat McCarsky. He was actually a late addition to this race because, unfortunately, Donnie Elliott in the number 4 car couldn't make it. He was driving Thor, the God of Thunder. That car is not in the race. This one is. John Godfrey in the 711 driving the Hubba Bubba 56 car. Jeffrey Elliott is the Gillette Athletic Complex. That's that complex in Wilson has been totally redesigned thanks to Canon. Spider-Man behind him. Heiser in the 3 driving the Green Lantern. Ken Roberts with the Flash in number 55. Batman Tom Dixon in the 45. Chris Elliott, Justice for Cannon 220 Doritos car in the number 9. Behind him, Nate in the 079 from Marvel Comics. Bob Williams, number 57 for Wayne Enterprises, The Incredible Hulk, is Doug McCluskey. And behind him in the back for now, Brad Otto in the number 31. We'll go back up to the front of the pack here right now and get you a better camera angle. So as we do this, I'll state it again. We will have 5 sprint races, all consisting of 10 laps. This will be the warm-up to the main event, which is a 38-lap race that will require pit stops and everything else. So you will not see any pit stops in a race like this. These sprints are super fun. And here they go. Coming onto the backstretch. Scoring is showing Greg Palmer and Dixon are neck and neck up front. Brian Wolf in the Cannon car on the bottom there, pushing Bob Dixon in the STP 43. We are running a little bit of a different texture pack tonight, too. Talladega does not look like this. The track surface is a lot more faded. We swapped it out for some darker asphalt because we figured it would look better on a live broadcast. As you can see, these guys, they've only got a few laps to get to the front. And like I said, points will be kept for these sprint races. So you can see them already back here, only in this thing about 3 laps right now, running 3 wide. And you're going to need friends in a race like this. These guys are about 4 wide across this backstretch right now. It appears like they want to win. We have Palmer out front. He is a veteran on every single track in this game. As Brian said, too, in the introduction, everybody in here is pretty much among the best that this game has. So you will see solid racing, as you can see now, a 2-3 wide racing right off the hop. That middle line is definitely doing, from what I can see from this angle, that middle line has the most cars in it, so it's going to be moving the fastest because that's just the way Talladega works. More cars equals more speed. Even a low line down there with only four cars in it still can't keep up with that main middle pack. When I'm racing in these races, I like to stay up top. Getting a little dicey up top there, but they are giving each other room. Let's move around to some different vehicles here. Follow a guy on the high line here for a while. Currently, we've got Brian Wolf in first. Up there with Greg Palmer. Fighting for that lead. Wolf being pushed by the 38 of Sullins. He's holding that low line. Brian does like the lower part of the track. He's not a super huge fan of the top the top line, because when you are racing across the top, if something happens, it's usually happening to your left, and then those cars will definitely slide up the track to the right, and you'll usually get caught in an accident. I'm one of those guys. I like riding the wall, so I would be up on that third line. I usually try to follow these cars from about the third or fourth position, just so we can see more on the track here. Get a bird's eye view of this. Brian Wolf leading this race into turn 3, which they come out of turn 4 into what we call the tri-oval. Talladega is one of the tracks that's pretty unique too, where the start and finish line isn't in the middle of pit road. It's after the pit road exit, which is very nice for scoring purposes. When pit stops are happening, it's a lot easier to keep track of everybody on the scorecard. It's a little bit more consistent that way. This is currently lap number 7 of 10. And they seem to be all forming up into a straight line. This is not going to last long. I've raced with these guys before. It's coming down to the last 2 or 3 laps. They're going to start trying to form a secondary line to chase down Brian. Currently, right now, Palmer has led 4 laps in this race, and Brian has led 2, according to the scoring. This is going to start to get fun to watch now. Lap number 8 in sprint race number 1 of 5. So there will be a short little break between each sprint, so the guys can get all the race stats reset. Oh, here we go. Or Palmer hopping out onto the high line, seeing if they can form. Looks like Brian wants to hold it, though. I do believe that Brian right now is probably driving more out of the rear mirror than he is out of the windshield, trying to see where these guys are going to go. Especially now that top line is forming up, they will be able to run him down. As you can see there, they're already gaining more speed. Right there, 201 miles an hour down the back straightaway into turn number 3. And I am currently locked onto the number 95 car, so. That will be the white flag in the air. This is lap number 10 of 10. We're going for checkered flags, and these guys are making sure it's not going to be... There will definitely be less than a second between this whole entire pack once this comes to an end here. Palmer seems to be getting the edge. Three wide coming into turn 3. Coming out of turn 3 into the tri-oval. Brian Wolf currently in front. They're bouncing around back and forth. This is going to be close. But it looks like it's going to be the number 29 car of Brian Wolf winning sprint number 1. Wow. Brian Wolf, the winner of sprint number 1. Well, how's that? How's that for race number 1? That thing couldn't have gone any better, if I do say so myself. The 29 car, Brian Wolf, sponsored by Cannon himself. And yeah, I don't even know what to say. That was exciting. That's a really good. That's a really good way to start the race off. Unbelievable.
Blaine, I got to step away for a second. I'll be right back.
Roger that, sir.
So you can keep it going, please.
Well, that's definitely the way to do it. So, I mean, we're doing a race for Cannon, and why not have the Cannon car driven by Brian Wolf, the guy who basically got this whole thing together? You know, why not have him, you know, win that race? That's fantastic. So, yeah, we've got 4 more sprints. Hopefully, they're that exciting again. And that was so close. I don't even have the final results. Actually, I had to get that screen moving there, and it's just one of those deals. Kind of excited, but yeah, it definitely a way to do it. This game, like I said, everybody in this game is a real person, so that always helps. You know, racing 3 wide and trying to get to the front, and you do need help. And I thought that they were definitely going to catch them, because that high line coming out of that last couple of turns, it had more cars. But like I said, Brian Wolf, he's known to be driving probably out of that rearview mirror more than he would actually be driving out the windshield, especially when he's in front of an event that he was able to create. But yeah, we'll get this thing rolling again. The boys here, they're going to reset this. And we'll take a little 5-minute, 2-minute, however you want, break. We'll play a little video here for you. We'll come right back. Brian Wolf, are you there, sir? You just want to race, bud?
I sure am. Man, what an outstanding race that first one was. I can't even believe it, dude. I'm beside myself. I am in tears over here. And I apologize.
Crazy,
these guys are yakking in my ear because I'm still in the race room. But these guys are going, we're about to saddle up and go again, man. This next one, I can't even believe it. I'm speechless, dude. But thank you so much again, Blaine, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and getting to witness these magic moments. I'll tell you what, me and Cannon have had a few. We've had our ups and downs, man, over the last season and a half. You know, but tonight's really special, and it's really special to me. I hope you guys are enjoying it, and we got a lot more to go, man. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, that was good. I didn't think you were going to be able to hold that, man. When they started forming up that high line, I thought they were going to run you guys over.
They were telling me, Solon's won that race for me, and in the number 38, the Joker car for Cannon, and he was telling me, he was communicating, saying, "Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go?" And I said, "I don't know where to go, man. I can see three wide in my mirror." I'm like, I don't know what to do.
I was on the broadcast saying, I know Brian ain't even looking out the windshield right now. He's just trying to find a line that's going to push him to the front.
That was so much fun, though, man. Even when you wreck out of these things, you sit 10 minutes and we go for the next one. So that's what's so great about this league. It's just for fun, you know what I mean? And we have a blast with this every weekend.
What's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is definitely fun. This is the type of racing we get most weeks with these guys, and skipping practice and doing these sprints was a great idea. Talladega Nights.
I got it, yeah, and also I got to mention we got about 10 seconds before we hit the button, so we'll pick back up on this after the next one, buddy. Thanks. I got to get back to work.
Do whatever you got to do. We're getting ready to go green for race number 2.
Start your engines.
Race number 2, sprint style. As we grid up again. Brian Wolf winning that last one. And it would appear right now, every time we do a sprint race, they do lottery start, which Brian has informed me the starting positions will be 100% in these sprint races will be chosen by Cannon Hinnant himself. The main event we will qualify for, but for these ones, it's all Cannon's fault. That's the way these where these drivers start. So we're doing a short pace lap this time. Only a half lap because it's just faster that way. Come on, people. Let's go. You want to do Crank It Up? Anybody ever watched Fox? Let's do Crank It Up. Turn it up as loud as you can. I will be quiet for a couple laps. Cranking it up is always fun. because loud noises are fantastic. Look at these guys, 3 wide all the way back, all of them straight as a pin, and all of them are real people. This racing simulator, by far one of the best NASCAR games I've ever played in my life, and it came out almost 20 years ago. And you can see the amount of people that still play this thing. And the community behind this game is absolutely fantastic. Right now, we are focused on the number 3 car, who was chosen by Cannon Hinnant himself to start this race on the pole. Let's see if the Green Lantern, driven by, who's that, Heiser? Gary Heiser, the number 3 Lantern. This is currently that'll be lap number 4 right there of 10. So there's 6 left. It's a long race. He might be able to get back to the front. We'll stay focused on him right now because we're still able to see most of the pack. We've got number 38 up front. That'll be Rodney Sullins in the Joker car currently leading this race. He's got 2 laps led under his belt, and Ken Roberts has the other one. There's Chris moving down in front of Heiser to tuck in behind Brian Wolf. We're going to get up there on the Bob Williams car. That's a cool car. Wayne Enterprises, number 57, Bob Williams. We got word. Oh, they're touching. And they are going. And that is pretty much everybody in a giant, what do we say, catastrophe, calamity, absolute shenanigans.
Blaine, stay on the leaders.
Oh, I'll stay on the leaders, but I need to, that was definitely, that took out, let's see, if there was about 19 cars, I believe, in this. They're all gone except for 4 of them. That's what they call the big one. It's funny, I was just talking about Bob Williams and his cool-looking Wayne Enterprises car, and they got torn up, so maybe I'll stop doing that. Maybe I'll stop talking about specific drivers and how cool their paint jobs are, because maybe that's bad luck. Big shove there to the 38. Behind him is Ken Roberts doing all the pushing. You say more than one, like one car's, well, there's only 4 of these guys left, really. According to the clock, everybody is still running, so nobody has retired. We have about 4 laps to go here. I will flip to spectator mode and see what's going on in the back. So we got Randy Waugh and Jeffrey Elliott have teamed up. It's showing me that Jeffrey Elliott, yeah, everybody's about 20 seconds behind the leader. These guys are getting rolling again. Looks like Bob Williams, Bob Dixon, and Doug McCluskey. They're going to be a 3-car train. Brad Otto all by himself. Billy Ellis are all by himself. Godfrey looks like he's heading to the pits. We will definitely stick with this lead pack. As we come around on the end of the 7th lap right now. We've got Nate, the 079 car. We're currently going to lead this lap. Being pushed by Kelly Kazi in the 00.
Hey, Blaine, I'm available if your mics are open or whenever you're ready.
Let it rip, man. We're just watching these 4 leaders go for it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was just going to pipe in and say I'm still back here driving in 6th place, but, you know, we were just talking on here that the audience couldn't hear. You know, it is Talladega. It's 10 laps flat out, 200 miles an hour. I mean, things like that are going to happen, you know what I mean? But that's what makes it exciting. That's what makes it fun, you know what I mean? And the great thing about the sim racing is, you know, in this format actually is, you know, if you do get wrecked out, well, I got a couple coming up behind me here.
Not too hard.
Oh, okay. But anyway, you know, you can just saddle up and wait 5 minutes for the next one. You know what I mean?
That's it. That is what's so fun about the sprints is, like, yeah, you might have a big accident like that. It takes out the whole field, but it's not a long wait for the next one. And you guys were instantly 3 wide at the green flag of that thing. That was crazy. I'm thinking, well, here we go. And then I was actually talking about how slick that number 57 Wayne Enterprises car looked. And then he got a little bit of contact and got shoved up into the wall there, and a couple guys checked up, and away we go. But like you say, it is Talladega.
I thought I had cleared it, and then the parts that I can't see. I mean, boom! I'm upside down, going backwards at 100 miles an hour. You know what I mean?
You almost cleared it. Well, let me tell you, you didn't. Not even close. You did not clear that at all. Yeah, but currently we're watching Nate, Kelly, Rodney, and Ken go for this right now. This is lap number 10.
And I'll tell you what, those are all names of guys that have raced here for the last, 6-8 months, whatever it's been. And, all of these guys. I mean, I'm surprised to even have my name on the list with this caliber of racers. I'm telling you what, they never, ever cause problems. I mean, it is Talladega.
These guys are side by side right now.
Act, man.
You're side by side coming out of the trioval right now for the win. It looks, they're door banging. This is going to be close. Looks like it's going to be 38. 38 Sullins. He got her. Number 38. Congratulations to Rodney.
Welcome to the virtual Talladega Super Speedway. 2.66 miles in length. This track is a high-speed, exciting race every single time we come here. Multi-line racing. 2, 3, sometimes even 4 cars wide across the track can happen here regularly. Hey, number 22, why don't you get out of the way? Bump drafting is one way to propel yourself faster around this track. In a pack like this, cars can reach speeds somewhere between 190, 200 miles an hour, and sometimes even faster. Tire wear, fuel consumption, aerodynamics all come into play here in this fantastic race car simulation that we like to call NASCAR Racing 2003 season. Leaving the track at high speed for pit lane is always a challenge. That solid yellow line is the commitment line. The white line is the speed line. So once you're behind the yellow line, you have to pit. And you need to get the car down to 55 miles per hour from a possible 200 miles per hour to avoid getting a black flag penalty. Keep in mind too, on pit road in this game, collisions are on. Unlike its successor, iRacing, you can't just drive down pit road and not expect to hit other cars. Getting in and out of your pit stall requires lots of finesse. Many things can happen on pit road, and they can happen fast, and they can ruin races. Three ways to get onto pit road. This is the wrong way. As you can see, this car is traveling about 100 miles an hour when it hits that white and yellow stripe. Too fast. Here it's pretty close. About 77 miles per hour when they hit that stripe. Now you can compensate and you might be alright. But this is how you do it properly. 55 mile an hour speed limit, 55 mile an hour when you hit the stripe. If you are able to get the car slowed down enough to make it onto pit lane without getting a penalty, making your pit stop and getting out without speeding, That yellow dotted line is when you are allowed to merge back into traffic here at Talladega. Most cars choose to do so on the backstretch as we see here. Getting into your pit stall properly also affects the speed in which your pit crew can do service on your car. Here you can see the car angled a little bit to the right, not straight with that white line. That will affect the speed at which they can change your tires and will also affect the amount of fuel that they can get into the tank. In a long race, you need all the fuel you can get. So you are going to want to do it exactly like this. The car as straight as possible, right on the sign. The maximum amount of fuel will make it into the tank, which at the end of the race could be a matter of miles or even quarter miles on that fuel. That has been your overview of the virtual Talladega Super Speedway. 2.66 miles is a long track, but it yields high speeds and lots of excitement. So we hope you have fun watching the event today. Thank you for watching.
And we are back after that little thing there. Getting ready to go green for sprint race number 3. So, just to reiterate again, there will be 5 total sprint races in the main event with little breaks in between. So if you do need to get up, get a snack, do whatever you got to do, there's definitely time to do so. Average of about 3 or 4 minutes between each sprint. There'll be a longer break between the final sprint number 5 and the actual race itself, because, well, there will be qualifying involved with that, and I won't be able to spectate that as well. So we've got some stuff to fill the gaps for you. 10 laps for each sprint. Points will be tallied. After all 5 sprints are done, whoever has the most points will win a trophy. A physical, actual trophy will show up in the mail. They are 10 laps apiece. There is no damage and there is no yellows. It's just 10 lap sprint. Basically, it's a dash to the checkered flag, and that's why you see these guys getting pretty randy right off the hop. They all want to win this thing, but they're all really good at what they do. So it doesn't really turn into a absolute mess. I mean, there was a really big wreck in that last one there, but it happens when you're going 200 miles an hour with 4 guys next to you. The main event will consist of 38 laps of this track. This is a little bit of a different configuration. 38 laps at 101 miles. It's not really a different configuration, it's just a different lap total. Caution flags for the main event will be on, damage will be on, penalties will be on, and the pit stop frequency will be 2 times multiplier, which means they will have to pit twice as fast as they would in real life. So instead of being able to go about 40 to 44 laps in real life on tires and fuel, they'll have to pit around 20 to 23 laps depending on drafting circumstances and all that sort of jazz. So we are getting ready to run sprint race number 3 coming up shortly. Hey, Brian Wolf, you got me.
I got you, buddy.
Sprint number 3 is about to start, man. Any insight to that track conditions and the weather out there? What's it look like?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's looking really good for me right now. Cannon picked me for the pole for this one, man. This is, how cool is this? This is random, you know what I mean? So we wanted Cannon to pick his favorites, so I'm feeling good about it. But track conditions are they're slick at first, and then you get some heat in that right front, and you can really turn it and hang on, and you can square up with the draft and stuff like that. Because I mean, it is 200 miles an hour, and one little slip, and it's all over for the entire field, as we saw in that last one. So it's pretty intense, man. This is not an easy thing to do. These races are not easy to win, especially if you're in the back. Because I mean, you got 10 laps to get to the front, and I'm just shocked sometimes that these cars don't go across, 5-6 wide at the line sometimes.
They get pretty close, that's for sure. But yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, getting heat in the tires usually takes a track this size 2 to 3 laps before you can really start driving it like a maniac with like violent lane changes and stuff. So you do have to sort of settle into a pocket for the first little while, let that thing heat up.
Absolutely, man. We're about to pop green again here, so this is going to be a fun one. Starting on the pole, I'm not quite sure what to do, but, these cars really don't come up to full song until, going into turn 3 way on the back stretch. So by the time we hit the stripe again, it's 200 miles an hour, and hang on and don't blink.
That's one way to do it, yeah. Well, that pace car finally got out of your gosh darn way, so that little dude up in that little tower right there is about to swing that green flag, so I'll be quiet and I'll broadcast this. You drive. How's that?
Sounds good to me, buddy. Here we go.
Favorite candy, Hubba Bubba?
Yeah, it's gum, like bubble tape.
Yeah,
And
right on. You were saying that was
fan of that,
Cannon's
I
favorite?
can imagine. Yeah, that's why John Godfrey chose that one, because Cannon liked the gum. He saw the pictures of his gravesite and stuff with his people left gum for him.
Oh, right on. So yeah, Godfrey driving most of the cars out here tonight are Cannon themed. There's a couple that aren't, but they're all looking real good out there.
All right, these guys are probably wanting me to concentrate right now, Blaine, so I'll leave you go for now.
Yep, let her rip. So yeah, we got 29 on the outside being pushed by about 5 cars. Something did happen back there while I was in the crank it up mode, because as I come back from that little crank it up close up of the 29 car, I noticed half the field's gone, so things must have gotten a little bit dicey back there, and another accident must have occurred. But this is just a sprint race. Yeah, currently that top line with 6 cars will be faster than that bottom line with only 3 down there, so. Back straight away, that top line looks like they're reaching about 200 miles an hour again. Yep, 200 mile an hour again coming into the third turn. Talladega Superspeedway is a big one, 2.66 miles in length. Takes about 50 seconds or so to get around this track once they're at top speed. Right there, the lap counter shows the fastest lap at, let me tell you, the fastest lap tonight so far in this race, not tonight, in this race is currently Doug Milewski with a 48.2 second lap with an average speed around the track of 198.1. And that's an average because when you go into the turns, you do lose a little bit of speed. You can go from about 200, 201 mile an hour down to about 197 or so in the turn, depending what line you choose to take. Currently about to go on to lap number 6 of 10 with the Cannon car in front again, the number 29 of Brian Wolf being pushed by Ken Rogers driving a Flash with Dixon behind him in the Batman. Everybody so far right now sort of just lining up. And usually what will happen is they will just sort of sit there until there's 2 or 3 laps to go, and then they'll fan out, see if they can get a charge on the leader. Sometimes being in front is not the greatest spot to be, especially now because this is lap number 6 and Brian Wolf has led every single lap. When it comes down to the last couple, they're going to want to pass him, so they might gang up on him. Currently has about 5 friends pretty consistently pushing him. That will change in the next couple of laps. There we go. Now we've got 5 guys moving to the outside. So there's a 5-car train forming up near the wall. And they're trying to squeeze them, slow them down. Those 5 cars will move faster than these 4 on the bottom, so they made that move early. We're coming up to about 2 laps to go right now at the line once they exit this tri-oval, so that is enough time. Although it looks like back there, Bob Dixon decided to abandon that top line and hook up with the bottom line. So 5 cars just turned into 4, 4 cars just turned into 5. They need to work together to see if they can run down Brian Wolf in the 29. Here we go. Brian Wolf is driving away a little bit. Let's see if I can get on a bumper camera here of Brian. Rear bumper. Watch how close these guys actually get. So what you saw right there, that there was no space. That was he actually latched onto him and was pushing him down the back straightaway. That's how they gain a lot of speed with these cars. It's so much fun to watch, bump draft. And that's why when we run the main race, there's in this game, there's the white flag in the air, final lap to go, side by side with Ken Roberts and Brian Wolf on the front row. Oh, it looks like Heiser dipped below the yellow line there a little bit. Onto the back straight again. I will flip this back to a bird's eye view to get the best view of the stripe. They are neck and neck again going into turn number 3. Talladega Super Speedway. Here comes Bob Dixon. You can see at the bottom of your screen there. He may play a factor in this. He's going to get a good run. And it looks like Roberts has got the edge, and they're door banging at the line, and it's going to be Roberts that wins this one. Not by much, but that was another. Oh, where did he go? Did he disappear? Roberts has to do a burnout. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. He slammed on the brakes. Super quick. There we go. Again, another fantastic race in sprint race number 4. Talladega Nights is the name of the server in which we are racing on. So we made a little highlight reel
so that was
about them. Let it rip, bud. What do you got?
No, I was just going to say that was the end of race number 3. Ken Roberts did a great job in that race, man. That was so much fun. It's every finish we have here, regardless if there's a wreck in the back or not, is within under a second of each other. I mean, that victory margin there was just, let's see, it was 0.018, so less than half a second difference. That was fun. That was a really great race.
and then 008 and then 008 again. It's the top 4 guys within 1/100th of a second of that line.
It's crazy, man. I tell you what, this style of racing is just so much fun. I mean, when you compare this to like points racing and you travel from track to track to track and you don't know the setups and stuff. But
well, and that's the thing. Like, it's definitely fun to watch. You guys are making this really easy to broadcast for me.
I know. You know what? And I thought I might have had that one in my pocket. You get up there with the names like Ken Roberts and your Rodney Sullins, and every single driver here is just top shelf, man. I can't say enough about these guys and how they race. It's phenomenal. And for you kids at home, I would suggest that you try this at home. Because it's way too much fun.
Don't try this at home. No, try this at home. That's where we all are right now, in our houses.
But we don't want to lose sight of why we're here, and we love Cannon so much, and I know he's just having a ball. I know he's having a ball enjoying this. I just know he would, and you know what? I have a feeling he would do it for me. You know what I mean? So we just hope that there's a lot of people in the chat box, saying his name, letting us know that you're here supporting Cannon and his family.
There's a pile. There's a pile of people. There's about 60 people watching this right now. So thank you to everybody who's tuned in.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for showing up and showing your support for Cannon and his family. Because, we don't want Cannon to be forgotten. You know what I mean? Like I said before, we're going to keep his spirit and his memory alive forever. You know what I mean? Because he deserves that. He deserves at least that. You know what I mean? And if we can do it in this format, on this platform, this is what we have to work with, social media and stuff like that. Every day we're going to be, reaching out and saying his name. So, the man that took Cannon from us is, his trial is still pending. We don't want to go too much into that, but it's important that we not let Cannon be forgotten. You know what I mean? He was just the coolest little kid ever, and I never even got to meet him. I'm very proud that I got to meet his family and stuff last year when we were down at his vigil. And actually, I could touch on that a little bit if I have a second.
Man, let it rip.
Okay, yeah, if I have a second, I could touch on that. Last year when I went down there, it was August 9th. I met Cannon's mother, Bonnie, on August 9th, 1 year to the day. And these folks were just so inviting and so welcoming and so, grateful that somebody's out here, and on their side, and that's what they really need. You know what I mean? They need to just know that there are people out here that care and are not going to stop caring. You know what I mean? I'll never walk away from Cannon. He's always going to be with me, and like we touched on before, I mean, he saved my sim racing thing. I thought I got to incorporate him into my racing somehow, and I started racing for him, and it gave me purpose to race again. I was really losing my taste for it. You know what I mean? I had been doing this for pushing 20 years now, and it just wasn't going anywhere with it. But now, man, it's like there's a whole brand new light. I owe that all to Cannon. We've been having so much fun with this, and I got to go down and visit him finally. I made a promise. I told him I'd be down to visit him because he did so much for me. So we're just giving back a little bit, man. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to do this. Everybody's putting on a fantastic show. If people watching this thing want highlights of all these races, probably more so the main event, we'll have pictures of the trophies. We're going to put together some little videos in the coming weeks. If you do subscribe to this channel here, this is where they will end up. And you can click on that little bell icon to get all the notifications if you like. Basically, all that means is you'll get a text message to your phone when the Cannon Hinnant channel you're watching right now posts a new video. And like I said, those will be highlight reels and whatever else we come up with. And these little videos I'm playing in between the sprint races, those will also be available on the YouTube channel once this race is over.
Very cool, Blaine. Very cool. And I know, Blaine, we should touch on this too. I mean, you yourself come here and race with us every now and again on the weekends, and I know you stream your own races live, so we need to let the viewers know that if they want to keep up with us, you know what I mean, they can connect that way and watch us again, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they will be. When I do them, when I stream them myself, I'm streaming from my cockpit, so you get to see my view of the race. I have no filter, unfortunately, for my language, because it's a totally separate channel from this. But it's fun to see if you want to watch out the windshield of my car. I haven't really done many broadcasts personally in a while because we've been working on this whole deal. But it does happen every once in a while.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, this league over here has been fun. It's been a lot of steps away from points racing and being disappointed every week and every weekend. You know, like I said before, Ken and I have really found some success here. We found a place where we can actually win. You know what I mean? It is Talladega, you know, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's just kind of a separate animal from the other places that we race. But I've said this before, it's way more fun than a human being should really be allowed. I mean, if you did this from our point of view, it's just, I mean,
it's very tense.
I'm sorry,
it's very tense.
I just got word. We're going green again here in 3, 2, 1. Blaine,
Exactly.
I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Awesome. Will do. I have to get in the race and...
Ten-4, Blaine. Thank you, buddy.
Well, it looks like I'm gridding up to retire, and I would have been on the outside row. Game crashed again. Game crashed again. We'll just leave this running here for now. Have to reboot some things. Game crashed just in case you guys want to hold for a minute. Sorry for that small glitch. This is an old video game, and sometimes it decides to crash. I think what's happening, too, is there's a lot of programs running behind this thing right now, and it's just having them tiny little issues, to say the least. But you know what? It's been going pretty good so far, and I cannot complain. So, on the pole tonight, on race number 4, Randy Hua, sponsored by Spider-Man. So the 21 car was chosen right now. The 21 was chosen by Cannon to start this race on the pole. Inside line.
Yeah, that's the Spider-Man car. Or you got me on mic?
I have you on mic. Yes, I do.
Okay, 10-4. Randy Wall in the 21. He has been so excited. He won last night. We ran a test on the server, and he won last night. He won the main last night. And he's been so excited, spreading this all over Facebook.
I can tell, man. There's about 60 people watching this.
He's in one of Cannon's favorites, obviously.
Yeah, this definitely has been one of the most popular races that we've done. This has approximately 60 was the peak people that were watching this stream tonight. So thank you everybody for watching and tuning in and having some fun. And there is more to come. This is a sprint race number 4, and there is one more before the main event at approximately 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And unfortunately now the Spider-Man car is getting railroaded. Such as
Blaine,
Talladega.
I'm in the I don't know if the viewing audience could hear me or not, but I'm in the beehive right now.
Yeah, I noticed. Spider-Man just got railroaded, but he's coming back, so if you wanted to join him, there's a gap down there.
I gotta stay in the money. Top 5's money.
So we're going to check
Not
this
real money,
at
just, you know what I mean. Top 5 score points, so
we're going to check this
should be
at
doing
the
pretty
start.
well in this championship run here.
Yeah,
with a win and a second.
We will have a points update for the sprints after this race is over.
10-4.
I contacted Bob, and he supplied me with the statistics from the first sprint, so I have proper points information.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
So currently now off to another great start here in sprint race number 4. Currently only about 2 wide is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing cars duck at line back there in the pack, but they are sort of just maybe looking for some help. Oh, here we go. Number 3. Pfizer moves to the outside. That may leave Dixon in the middle there. Or who's that in the middle? Number 95. That's John Forgione. He does have help in the center, though. Sometimes they call that the sucker hole because you get stuck in the middle and it's just like a vacuum. It just suck you right to the back of the pack because nobody's there to help you. He does have 2 cars behind him, so he will be okay. Oh, 3 or 4 cars behind him now. Elliott just moved down in front. Brian Wolf currently running in the second place with Nate behind him and Palmer in the Crocs car. They're all staying high for now. They're all staying in line. Ken Roberts is currently out front leading this race. Move up here a little bit so we can see the leaders. Couple cars way in the back there that they may lose the draft being that far behind. If you get within about a second, 0.8 of a second away from that main pack, you can lose the draft. Roberts still in the lead position, being pushed by Wolf, Nate, and Greg Palmer. Sullins behind him in the Joker car. Top line's trying to form up here. It's always a little bit scattered for the first half of the race. We've been out here for a while now, so these guys got about an hour into these sprints. There will be an elongated break coming before the main event because qualifying will take place. Some drivers opt to skip the qualifying just to run out, grab a drink, or maybe take a bathroom break or something because they've been sitting in front of their computer for a little while. Fanning out to 3 wide here. So Brian Wolf in the lead in the middle, being pushed by Nate and Roberts. But now he's got a train coming on the high side. Led there by John in the 95 Iron Man car, that black machine you can see riding the wall there with all the flames on it and everything. Just think it looks just slick. Lap number 6 of 10 right now. We're going on to lap number 7 of 10. So Wolf he looks a little bit indecisive there on where he wants to maybe put that car. It looks like he's leaning towards that high line. We are 3 wide in the back, and we've got some guys spinning. Looks like I saw there's at least 4 or 5 cars involved in that one. We're going to keep with the main pack. Still a pretty good chunk of cars here. Trying to prevent this Cannon car from winning all these sprints. I mean, come on. But then again, it's pretty awesome. Laps led are as follows. Ken Roberts has led 4. Brian Wolf has led 3. This will probably be the 4th one that Brian Wolf will lead. Fastest lap so far, 47.6 seconds. Pat McCarskey at an average speed of 200.6 miles per hour on this 2.66 mile virtual Talladega track. Lap number 8 of 10 is complete. Lap number 9 of 10 has begun. That's usually how that works. We run this race in the forward direction. We can't run it in reverse. It would be extremely boring. If you do want to run it in reverse, you could click rewind, I guess. Dixon way back there at the top of your screen just left the screen in the Batman car. He will probably lose the draft. Wolf, Nate, and Roberts are staying pretty true to each other up there. John in the 95, he is not going to give up that high line. If he can get more help behind him, these guys need to tighten it up. There's a little bit too much space in a couple of areas on that high line, whereas you can see this bottom line, they're pretty tight together. There definitely needs to be a lot more bump dropping going on that top line. These cars can take a pounding because in the sprints right now, we run with no damage. In the main event, there will be damage on, but it will only be moderate damage. They don't run realistic damage because with realistic damage, bump drafting can cause your grill to get crunched, which on a super speedway like this, definitely it definitely deflates your speed. So it's more fun at moderate, where you can still get in an accident and completely destroy your car, but at least you are able to give guys a little bit of a push here and there without worrying about, oh, it looks like Nate has slipped out of line. Wolf gets spun around. He's airborne, and we've got, wow, the entire field except for John in the 95 and Bob. We're going to give the checkered flag this time to the number 95 of John. I hope I'm saying your name right, John. I hope I'm saying your name right, John. Forgione. Anyway, let's watch him do a burnout, shall we? Congratulations to John in a 95 Ironman car. What a wild finish that was. We're going to run another quick little bumper here for you.
What do you think of that finish there, Blaine?
So there you go, Talladega nights, Fridays, and Saturday nights at the RLM Arena. NASCAR Racing 2003 season. Thanks, Rise of Ascension, for letting me use your song. And if you like rock and roll, or if you didn't, and hopefully you do now, I know those guys, they're pretty heavy. And what goes better with NASCAR? Heavy rock and roll and whatnot. Let's see if Brian Wolf's still hanging around, because that was a pretty radical finish. Hey, Brian Wolf, are you there? Are you there, man? Are you doing all right? Doesn't look like it. Anyhow, if he is around, he's somewhere. This race, we're getting ready to do sprint race number 5. We do have some statistics for you as follows for the current sprints. And if I could just find...
Okay, I'm back, Blaine. I'm sorry about that delay.
No problem, dude. So we have... Oh, wait. I gotta talk to Brian. There we go. I gotta push my button down so Brian can hear me. So I have a screen up right now. It's the current points standings coming out of the 4th sprint. We have Ken Robertson first with 10 points. We have some guy named Brian Wolf in second place with 9. Rodney Sullins and John Godfrey are tied for third with 8th. John, how do you say his last name? Forgione?
Yeah, Forgione.
Forgione. Okay, I'm pronouncing the E. Jean Forgione with 6. Bob Dixon and Big Nate in the 079. And Greg Palmer in the 22, all with 4 points. Tom Dixon with 5. Doug Crossbow with 2. And Kelly Buckshot with 2 points. And everybody, as of right now, has 0.
Yeah, they're okay. Very cool, very cool. So that Ken Roberts is hard to beat, man. We got one race left to go. We're 1 point out. So
yeah,
I'd really like to pull this off, man. I really would. That last wreck kind of hurt our chances, but we would have had it wrapped up.
Yeah, and if you can finish in front of Ken, doesn't even matter if you win. It's going to be close. It might even be a tie.
We're going.
Are we going green? It would appear that we are going green. In about 4 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to sprint race number 5. Remember those points, because it is definitely up for grabs by about 5 of those guys. You know what? Everybody can pretty much win it. It's 5 points for winning. So I'm thinking from John all the way up.
Hey, how about Blaine picked you, or Cannon picked you, Blaine, for the pole? You got to retire it.
He did, and I have to retire.
So that's kind of weird.
No, it's not. Thanks, Cannon. So the pole on that one looks like it's going to be the 3 then, correct? Because he moves up into my spot.
Yeah, he had a pole position before, so we're still calling that your pole. So Cannon picked you, man, as a thank you for doing the broadcast, man. How did that work out?
Hey, dude,
I told you
thanks
this
for
kid was
broadcasting
cool,
this,
man.
bro. Yeah, that's pretty
I told you
neat.
this kid was cool.
He put me in second there a couple times, too. Nobody could see that because I kept it hidden, but I actually put that one on screen. I'm like, look, I'm in pole position, but my steering wheel is on the wrong side of the desk tonight, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd be out there winning.
Here we go. We're about set to pop again. I'm on the front row again.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, final sprint race of the night. And it should be a good one because, like we say, we've got Ken, Brian, Rodney, John in the 7-Eleven, John Forgione. I've been saying his name wrong all night. In the 95. All those drivers, by my calculations, do have the mathematical possibility to win this thing. Because even John Forgione with 6 points, if John Godfrey, Rodney Sullins, Brian Wolf, and Ken Roberts all basically finish 6th or lower, John would get the 5 points to overtake Ken and win by 1 point. Only the top 5 cars get points in a sprint. First place gets 5. Second place gets 4. Third place gets 3. Fourth place gets 2 points. And of course, fifth place gets 1. Everybody else gets nothing. So mathematically, if Ken, Brian, Rodney, and John Godfrey somehow come in lower than 6th position, Forgione could come from behind and get this thing. And same with Godfrey as well. Like any one of those drivers can win this sprint race right now. And where are they running? Currently at the last timing loop, it was Gary, Rodney Sullins, Brian Wolf, John Forgione, and Ken Roberts. That's the order they're running in right now. And of course, we're 3 wide, because why not? It's Talladega. All these guys coming to join this race from Talladega Nights, Rolling Thunder, all around. There's, there's a lot of drivers from a lot of different leagues in this race tonight, handpicked by Brian Wolf.
Hey, Blaine, after this one, I want to touch on a couple of things.
Roger that, sir. Yeah, every driver in this race handpicked by Brian for a reason. You can see, because this is some top-notch close race in here. We focused on Sullins in the 38 Joker car leading the pack again. This game does support 43 drivers, I believe. But Brian wanted to keep it down to about a 20-driver field. Just to take the cream of the crop. Some guys couldn't make it, and then there was guys on standby. For instance, I don't see Perry. Perry didn't make it tonight. He drives the 60 car, and I know that Donnie Elliott also could not make it tonight. He was going to drive the number 4, the Mighty Thor car. I painted that one up. Didn't make it onto the track tonight because unfortunately Donnie couldn't make the race tonight. Just some last minute stuff that happened to a couple guys, but we had a couple of spares waiting in the wings. And as we watch Sullins come out of turn 4 into the try over here, they will be taking lap number 5 of 10 right now. Final sprint race of the night. I won't be able to tell right away who the sprint winner is, but during the break between this final sprint race and the main event, I will get you some numbers. Lots of people in the chat are fans of everybody in here. Hammer down, Jeffrey.
Greg Palmer and I just both said at the same time we need a change of underwear after that.
Yep. Yeah, where is he? I'm focused on the leaders here.
That's how quick it can happen, man. Oh, my God.
Yeah, Brian currently running back there in about 14th or so position. There's Pat McCarskey. He was a last-minute addition to this race, too, so it's awesome that he was able to make it out. Billy Ellisler in the 26. Driving the Flintstones car. Who doesn't love Flintstones? Come on. Currently pushing Brian Wolf. Let's focus on Jeffrey Elliott here. Jeffrey Elliott, I painted that car, the number 56 Gillette Sports Complex in Wilson. That sporting complex was actually a major renovation. From what I understand, Cannon's family raised a pile of money and rebuilt that thing in his honor with his requests because it didn't have much shade. And some of the slides were a little bit suspect. Growing up in the 80s, I know what he's talking about. Probably had like metal slides sitting in the sun all day with no trees around. So it was nice that they were able to do a complete overhaul in the playground section of that. Jeffrey Elliott also runs Talladega Nights, who were kind enough tonight to run the server for us. So they are right now hosting this event in its entirety over at Talladega Nights. You can find them on the RLM Arena if you're familiar with the NASCAR Racing 2003 community. Him and Chris Elliott and Bob Dixon. See if we can find Chris. He's here somewhere. Where is he? He's in the number 9 car. He's always in the number 9 car. Oh, we've got an accident back there. Absolute catastrophe. There they go. And it looks like it collected the 29 of Wolf. Well, we stick with the lead pack, because this is lap number 8 of 10.
That was rough.
Yep, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that was trying to tell the other guys that was a little bit rough there.
Have you got me, Greg?
But I think, even though I'm not going to finish in the points, what was the third place points?
In third place, we got the 38 of Sullins, and he's leading this race right now.
Okay, he's got it wrapped up then.
Probably. Oh, is Roberts involved in that?
Ken Roberts was, yeah, but so was I. We're now, let's see, we're now 16th and 17th.
Right, okay, yeah, Rodney looks like he's probably going to win it. Once I plug the points in, I'll give people an update. Currently following Chris, brother of Jeff. These guys run this server. You can see he's racing the logo for tonight's event, Justice for Cannon 220, and the number 9 Doritos machine. And Bob Dixon. Unfortunately, I do believe I heard Brian say that he got tied up in that accident. That's Tom Dixon.
Well, I mean...
Bob Dixon. Bob Dixon has retired from this race. He's chasing the lead pack again. This is lap number 10 of 10. Lap number 10 of 10 here, man. Sullins is in the lead. Coming around through 3 and 4 right now. With Forgione pushing. And they're all within points.
Oh, we still got 10. We still got 10 up there in the lead pack, so this ain't over.
No. Coming to the checkered. And there it is. Sullins. Congratulations to Mr. Sullins. I'm pretty sure he has won the sprint points. I will plug them in, and after this break, get back to you with an update. So I've got some points tallied up here too. Did you want to bring me down, grab me and pull me down in there?
10-4. No,
I'm
I'll
seeing
just
if I can
have
get
him. I'll just have Jeffrey bring me and Rodney.
Okay, 10-4. We're going to get some drivers up here in the broadcast booth to talk about these points, see if I was right. I've got them tallied. I think I'm right, but just want to make sure. So currently, the Forever 5 sprint races
Okay,
are
I'm
complete.
in the booth with you now, Blaine, and Rodney's
Right
coming.
on. Cool. G'day, Rodney.
Rodney, do you have permission to talk in here?
He's in here. He should have permissions, right?
Yeah, Rodney, you can probably hear us. We'll be with you in just a second.
According to my calculations, Rodney has won this race, all 5 sprint races combined, and it's super tight. We're just getting confirmation on the actual points. I believe I got it correct, but I also don't want to be wrong. Bob Dixon is the points guru, and he will definitely confirm or deny these things.
All right, Blaine, I'm going to have him pull you and me back up into there, and then we can go from there.
10-4. Right.
No, what you're going to...
Okay, we're going down into the driver's room here, so we'll have communications.
Okay. Blaine, do you have a copy in here?
Yes, sir. Let her rip. I'm ready to go.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the winner of the Sprints Championship for tonight is Rodney Solins. Man, this guy did a great job, and he's one of the guys we wanted to touch on as well, because he painted a lot of the cars you see tonight, most of the superheroes cars, and the Bill Williams driving that Wayne Enterprises car, that was a really neat twist on one of Cannon's favorites, Batman, so that was really neat. This guy does a tremendous job. And we really had fun. Bob Williams is driving that car, the Wayne Enterprises car that Rodney Solins actually painted. He's kind of our resident painter for this race, and I can't even tell you, Rodney, how much I appreciate you for that, because these cars really look fantastic, and I know Cannon's just pleased as punch to see all his favorite stuff out here. So tell us about your race, and give shout outs to whoever you want, because you got a trophy coming your way, buddy.
I appreciate it, man. It was my pleasure to do the paints. I really wanted them to look good for this race. I know Cannon's up there looking down on him, and I'm sure he's enjoying looking at him go around. But thanks for doing this, Blaine, for broadcasting. This is really cool. I've had some fun in the sprint races, a lot of fun. At first, when I was determined I was going to stay on your back bumper, Brian, no matter where you went, if you would have went down pit road for no reason, I'd have followed you. But I had a good time. Got wrecked in one. All my guys, the BSR guys, Greg and Kelly, Ken and Chris and John, and Nate's part of that bunch now, I believe. But we all like to run together. We've been doing it for quite a while. Having some fun with them. John helped me that last race. I really appreciate that. I mean, he was beating the far out of my back bumper. But it's a good time. This has been a blast. I've loved every minute of it so far.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you being a part of this, man. It's really cool. I love seeing all these cars out here for Cannon. It's really neat. And like you were saying, I know that you pushed me to that first win that I got, and that was really special. I was glad to get that. Me and Ken Roberts were there close coming into the race 5, and I thought, well, that's it. And the race number 4 was just a spectacular crash at the end. That was pretty wild. But, man, congratulations. Great job on all the cars, and great job on your racing tonight, man. That's why I follow you guys, because you're the best, and I know you guys, know how to win these things, and that's why a lot of times you're going to see me behind you. So appreciate it, man. We're gonna send Blaine back down, and we're gonna play, I think, a couple more things, and then we're getting ready to go to the main race here, which is gonna pick up. So we're going to take a few minutes break for the viewers, and we'll be back with just another tremendous race. Now, in this next one, we're going to see you're going to see full service pit stops, 1, possibly 2, depending on if a yellow falls, and in this one coming up, there's moderate damage set to the cars. So got to be a little bit more careful and be a little bit more delicate with them. So let's go out and let's have a wild main for Cannon, and good luck to you, man. Thanks, appreciate it.
Thank you.
I just want to say congratulations, Rodney, and all you guys. You're making this broadcast thing easy. These races are amazing. So this main event won't disappoint. I know it.
Thank you, Blaine. Appreciate it. Can't wait to watch your broadcast.
There's about 78 people watching right now, so you won't be the only one.
That's quite a bit at one time.
It's nice. It's
Hopefully
nice.
they're using the chat bar thing down there. It'd be pretty cool.
They're blowing it up. Everybody's getting shout outs, and there's family members in here for all kinds of different car numbers, so it's cool to see.
Cool.
Very cool, man. The most important thing to me is that we get Cannon's name out there, and we get his story told, man. What's happened to this family isn't fair. It isn't fair. And we want to level the playing field. Like I've said this a million times. If the mainstream media is not going to say his name, then we sure as hell will. And we love Cannon, and we're so happy and glad to do this for him and his family, and we just want to give back a little bit. And we love you, Cannon, and we will see you in just a few minutes on the starting grid. We have a couple things to touch on while you're qualifying. Cannon and I are going to skip qualifying for this one, and we got a couple things to touch on. We want to touch on a couple of these paint jobs and the meaning behind them and stuff like that. So we'll see you guys in here in just the next few minutes.
Let's turn my microphone on. How's that? The race room there, all the drivers chatting. Congratulations to Rodney. Rodney with 13 points at the end of it all. All 5 sprints are now complete. Main event is coming, so please stay tuned. There will be probably about a 15 or so minute break right now, so if you do want to get up and wander around and do what you got to do, definitely go do it now. Brian will be back in here in a minute. We will be chatting about the race and Cannon and the family and everybody else, and it's pretty solid. But yeah, we got Rodney Sullins there in first place at 13 points. Ken and John both tied with 10. Brian Wolf coming out in 4th. He was up there in that race. Unfortunately, that little bit of a accident there at the rear of the field took him out of that. We got Bob, Nate, Greg, Kelly, Tom, Doug, Chris, Gary, Donnie, Randy, Billy, Brad, Otto, Bob, and Perry. Donnie and Perry obviously didn't make it. Everybody else, I'm pretty sure, is in here. Let's see if I can... can't really do any replays because I wasn't able to save the replays in the race. But that is your current unofficial scoring. If the points were different, I do not believe that they were because, well, we have it mathematically correct that Rodney won. Right down to the final few laps, too. That thing could have gone either way. The sprint races are a lot of fun. I've raced with these guys for just not even a couple of years, really. I've played this game in the past, ever since it came out in 2003, on and off. And just got back into it again, took a few years off, and was surprised to see that the game was actually still going. I'm thinking, wow, I thought this game would have been dead by now, but there's a lot of awesome people in this community, as you can see from tonight. The numbers on YouTube, the numbers in this server, the talent on this track. It's a fantastic game. Sorry, I just had had Brian in my ear there. We're going to switch this up a little bit. Anyway, just a fantastic game, a lot of fun. And to get back into it and find out it's going even stronger than I ever did. As the community kept this alive. That's awesome to share this with everybody else. But we got Brian Wolf in here. You said you and Cannon are skipping the qualifying run?
Yes, sir, we are. Because I wanted to take the time to kind of touch on a couple of things, if I could. While these guys are qualifying, you won't be able to see them. They do it individually. So they do it individually, but they do it at the same time, if that makes any sense.
I've got a race replay running here, so people have something to stare at, but it's definitely not a live feed. But I told everybody to bail and grab a snack. We got a main event coming up.
All right. Well, anyway, there is a few things that I really feel we need to touch on here. I wanted to talk about a couple friends of mine that I met last year when I went down to see Cannon and his family for his vigil. It was on the 9th of August of last year. And I want to thank personally over the broadcast here Bobby Kiger. He was the gentleman who did our invocation for us. He was the gentleman who did our invocation for us, and he just did a tremendous job. And this guy, he's turned into one of my better friends. So I wanted to touch on him because he's been like a gateway for me for giving me information on what's going on with the trial and everything, and he brought me closer to the family. I got to meet him down there, so I wanted to thank him personally. And also, I wanted to touch on Cannon's aunt, Ellie Acock. She's been with my racing team and supporting me over the last year and a half, just watching our races, and they had me. I stayed with them when I was down there, and she was a big contributor to this event, and just seeing to it that I felt welcome and everything that I was down there. And I want to tell those guys how much I love them and how much I appreciate them and everything that they've done for me. And without them, we couldn't do this. And again, her and Bobby and a couple other people down there have been just my gateway to learning about Cannon and getting closer to him. His mother Bonnie and her husband Lee and Carly and Ava, Bryson and Braylon, these guys, Cannon's brothers and sisters. These are good people, and they didn't deserve this. And we just want them to know, again, how much we care about Cannon, and we're going to see to it. We're out here fighting with you guys. We're going to see to it that justice is served. I mean, we have to. There's no way around it. This is an unacceptable thing that happened, and we love Cannon. We want him to be a staple in the sim racing community, and this is how we're going to do that, as he should be in every community. So we're so pleased that everybody's showing up and saying his name in the chat box and rooting for their favorites and all that stuff. The next thing I want to touch on, I know I'm rambling here, but we're kind of limited on time. The next thing I want to touch on is a couple of these paint jobs. Brad Otto wanted to drive the... I asked Bonnie one time, Cannon's mother, what Cannon's favorite food was. What did he like to eat? and I'm going to do my best impression of Bonnie. I hope she doesn't mind, but this was so funny. We were on the phone, and she said just like this. She said, Brian, she said, that young'un loved oodles and noodles. She said he would eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner had she let him. He just loved it that much.
I was wondering why there was an oodles of noodles car out there.
Yeah, and that's why. Yeah, that's why. And then, John Godfrey's is driving the Hubba Bubble Tape gum, the thing that he liked. That bubble tape looks like a tape measure bubble gum thing or whatever. I don't know. It was when Ken was. I don't think he was all that much into sweets, but those were his favorite things.
That's
and
a
then of course,
diet. I can't really slag him. That's an excellent diet.
But absolutely. And then the other thing, Cannon, the Crocs car. Driven by Greg Palmer, number 22. Cannon, there's kind of a backstory here too. That was Cannon's favorite, his shoes. That's what he wore, and he wore that camouflage style with the little Star Wars buttons and stuff on them. And Bonnie still has his shoes, and she takes them with her. Excuse me, to to his events and stuff like that. And it's just really it's a tremendous thing to see and feel and touch, when you think about Cannon. So that car really is significant to this field too. Now, and probably one of the biggest things is the car number 56, driven by Jeffrey Elliott. He is driving the I think it's JB Gillette JB Gillette Athletic Center. And what that is a park, a play park where Cannon loved to go and play and ride on the slides and the swings and the climbing apparatus and all that stuff. And they have ball fields there. And so what Bonnie has done, actually, is she has donated a tremendous amount of money into renovating that area of the athletic center. They put down new turf. They've repainted everything and put up new apparatus and put up these big tarps. Excuse me one second. They put up these big tarps to block the apparatus from the sun, because I guess from what I understand, Cannon would complain a little bit about this, the rides being too hot, to touch even, to go on and stuff. So that's what she did. Now that all this stuff is, and all the climbing apparatus, the swings, the slides and stuff, they're all designed for handicapped children as well. So we really want to just give her a great big giant virtual hug for that, because what a tremendous way that Cannon and her have given back to the community. And they also are investing money into, I believe, the Miracle Field ball field for handicapped kids to go and play baseball, because they come from like a long line of, they're baseball people down there. For lack of a better way to put it. But they're big sports fans and stuff like that. So she's really done a lot of good, through this tragedy, to give back to the community and stuff for the support that she's been given. And thank God for that community of Wilson for holding this family up, because, they need that. And so that's why we have these different paint schemes. And of course, we have all of Cannon's favorite superheroes. He was really into the superheroes thing, and so we have all those represented. The Hulk, Spider-Man, Iron Man, the Flash, Batman. Tom Dixon. We got to talk about him, because he was so excited to race that Batman car.
We should talk about Bob Williams as well.
Oh yeah, Bob Williams. He did the research. He kind of came to us a little bit late. What was his sponsor again?
Oh, he's driving Wayne Enterprises.
Wayne
and
Enterprises,
really sure
yeah.
if he was going to make it tonight, because he had some stuff go down.
Right, yeah. We want to give a shout out to Bill Williams, too, who, again, tragically lost his son a few weeks back in a car accident. So, our hearts go out to him, and we're just so pleased that he was able to make it here tonight.
Is it Bill or Bob? You've said Bill a couple times.
Or maybe it is Bob. I'm sorry.
It's Bob in the...
Bob
I've got
Williams.
Bob.
Okay. But without a doubt, like I said, we want to give his
the Williams family.
The Williams family, are just our condolences, because they had lost their I think he said I can't remember what he told me, but just a tremendous loss and a tremendous effort on his part to come out here and show up and show support for Cannon and race with us, because I know he's raced with us on and off in our team races and things like that. So, our hearts go out to him. And I don't know if, Billy, the other one I wanted to touch on was actually one of our other painters, Bernie Mobbs. He's painted my cars over the last probably 4 or 5 years, all the ones that I raced at RTG and TDR. And the car that he's in tonight, excuse me one second.
Yeah, Bernie's fantastic. I don't even know if he has any bad-looking cars.
The car that he's actually in tonight is one of my cars. It's a throwback from the very first Cannon race we did back at BSR back in October of 2020. That was the first race we held that was broadcast, and we kind of put that one together really quickly. It didn't go not anywhere near like tonight's going, but it was a good, it was a good event. But anyhow, Bernie is in a car that he painted for me. That was my very first car that I had done up for Cannon. I think it says Cruising for Cannon on the side. It was the race logo that we had. Yeah, right. So he actually put his number on my old car as kind of a tribute to me and Cannon. So we really appreciate him. And he's painted a lot of cars that you see out here tonight.
The one you're driving is his, right?
No, actually, Rodney Solins painted that one. I'm not sure. I think he did a car for Tom Dixon, for Bob Dixon. He paints his cars.
Less than a minute left in happy hour, by the way, just to let everybody know.
10-4. Yeah, these guys are out here practicing. I see them out here. So yeah, I wanted to really take the time and touch on those. I'm glad we got Rodney in as the winner of the thing. We can touch on a little bit more after this main race. It's 38 laps, so it's going to go by quick. I promise you. We're going to try to keep the yellows down to none. I'd like to see, but we'll see. But you'll see some full service pit stops, and you're going to see some strategies work out here now.
Hours. So the pit crews are going to actually have to get warmed up and do some work finally.
And yeah, and there's a couple other guys also that I want to give mention to, just very quickly, if I could. Ken Roberts.
All right, you're running out low on time.
This guy, Ken Roberts, number 55. He's driving the Flash car for Cannon tonight. This dude here is tough, man. I mean, all these guys. I mean, like I said, I get in races with these guys in other leagues and other places at other times, and I see their numbers and I recognize them, and I know who to go behind because they know how to win. But this Ken Roberts and Randy Wall and some of these other guys, Rodney Sollins, another one, these guys are just second to none. I mean, it's just amazing how these guys race. I can't say enough about that. How much fun we have here week in and week out. And we've got about 20 seconds till we're going to hit the grid, so I'm going to stop talking now, Blake.
Yeah, I just had to sit down. I was standing, letting you do all the talking. Thanks for giving me a 5-minute break, bud.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm just going to readjust my microphone.
We're set to pop here in just a couple seconds. We're counting down from 15, and then we're going green, buddy. So
all right, man.
Hang on to your seat. And, and again,
luck,
to
guys.
all the viewers that are showing up and showing support, thank you so much. This has been just a fun night so far, and we are about to get after it and light the fires.
Good luck, buddy. I got to jump in and retire. And we will be
Here we go
going
racing, fellas.
the
Good
main
luck,
event.
everybody, and thanks again for coming out. I'm sorry I was gabbing through that broadcast.
You're
Some of you
still
might
in
have been watching it, but
You're still in the broadcast room. You got to move yourself down into the race room.
Crazy, you got a copy, bud? Right on, brother.
That's Brian talking to the other guys, but he wasn't talking to anybody. He was talking to me. All right, there we go. We're going live. We will ride on board with Brian Wolf and Cannon Hinnant riding shotgun. We'll get inside the cockpit here of the 29 car. He qualified near the back because he skipped qualifying to talk to us. So a little bit of a risk, but not really in the main event because this is a 38-lap race. This is a long race. So with pit stops involved, he won't finish back here. I don't know what's going on back there. But if you guys got to reset it, let it rip.
no, we can't, Blaine.
Okay. I was going to say a couple seconds isn't going to hurt the broadcast.
We cannot restart.
We will crank it up here. So turn up your speakers really loud. I will be quiet for one lap as we listen to Brian and Cannon go for a ride at high volume. right, there we go. Riding along with Brian and Cannon in the 29 during the Crank It Up. If you guys ever used to watch it on Fox there in NASCAR, I always did that Crank It Up thing, so nobody wants to hear me talk all night. But anyway, let's watch what's going on here now. Roberts led the first lap. And we'll focus on the 079 of Nate. What's Nate's last name? I don't have it. It just says Nate. Well, there it is. Balser. That's what I thought. In the game, he just comes in as Nate. All capital letters, like you gotta yell it. Like, Nate! But anyhow. We're off to a pretty good start here now. Currently on lap number 3 of 38. It's about 35 laps to go. If I remember correctly, we are running a 2 times pit stop multiplier, which means pit stops should occur somewhere around lap 20. That number does change depending on track conditions, where you are in the draft, if you're able to conserve fuel a little bit. Some guys that are kind of stacked between a few cars in front, a few cars pushing can save a little bit of fuel in a really long run. It actually does add up. Going a little easy on that throttle. Every single paint scheme in this race was created custom for this race. So very cool to see. All these
Blaine,
different
I can
paint
let
schemes.
you know when pit stops are coming up too.
Roger that. So we're doing probably about a 20 or so lap thing again, eh?
What do you mean?
What's your
For
pit
fuel?
frequency? Yeah, about 20 lap window on fuel.
Yeah, roughly. Actually, it works out to 18 and 18, which is 18 or 19. That's if you save one. So it's this length of race, 38 laps. It's very close on fuel. Now, should a yellow come out, that kind of changes things, depending on how many are left.
Yeah, because pace speed, I believe, is 70 miles an hour, so you're not running 200, you're definitely saving gas. Focused currently on the number 90 car of Bernie Mobbs.
I want to encourage the fans to kind of stick around. We'll go back up into the race room and kind of listen in on the factoids, listen in on a little bit of the race chatter.
Yeah, Bob Dixon does a little factoid rundown. He has all kinds of extra stats that he collects after the race, and it's always fun to hear him do that.
Yeah,
basically these races aren't complete without Bob doing the factoids.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he's been doing that for a long time. It's really neat. He gives out the fastest laps and
Get a little squirrely
who led
there.
the most and all that. Top 5 fastest quickest laps, and then who led the most laps and whatnot. So that's always really cool. That's kind of his thing.
Focusing currently on Randy Waugh, dropping back in the pack just a little bit, so we don't have to get too bored looking at those same group of cars up there. Randy Waugh in the Spider-Man car, number 21, rolling around right now, mid-pack. He's between 8th and 9th.
I can kind of talk to you now a little bit, Blaine, because you know my strategy. I sit in the back here until I don't really want to move until after I know I have enough fuel to make it to the end. That's when I'll race.
Right, yeah. Current scoring loops are showing you in about the 16th position out of 20, so. Brian Wolf sitting in the back quarter, watching it all happen. Brian likes to race low, too. He likes to stay on that low line, because if anything does happen in front of you, you can just drive right by it. Or if you're on the top side, I like to run the wall. But you do end up catching some cars sometimes. If people spin out below you, then there's only one way they're going. They're going up the track. Like I said, too, we are running a different surface. I am running a different surface for this
Actually, one paint job
broadcast.
I haven't touched on yet is my own.
Yeah, you're driving an awesome-looking car, man.
Is this going out live on the broadcast?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could explain a little bit. I wanted to touch on a couple things anyway, because And like I said, I can talk to you now. I'm just kind of riding, taking it easy from these first laps so we pit. So in about 10 laps, I'll be quitting on you again. But my car, Rodney Sullins designed this. I gave him, if you look at on the hood, that Marvel Comics logo on there, that image that you see, that was Cannon's favorite t-shirt. That was his favorite shirt that he wore, because, you know, he liked superheroes. But for some reason, that was a shirt he always wore. It's in a lot of his pictures that you see on Facebook and stuff like that. So that's why I chose that. And the gray is the color, actually, of the t-shirt that he wore. Now, the orange trim in this car actually represents Cannon, because that was his favorite color. If you look on the hood again, you'll see the two stripes that I always carry down the hood. Those represent Cannon's angel wings. That's our power source, and he gives me that, and that's why that's there. Now, on the I also carry my other sponsors on here, which is, I'll give a shout out. I might as well give a shameless shout out to the Little Creek in Boardman and all my co-workers and friends there, because we carry that on the side as well, along with Acock Rental Properties, which is, again, Cannon's aunt. Cannon's aunt and Uncle Archie own Acock Rental Properties. So we got together and designed a logo for their letterheads and T-shirts and mugs and all that stuff. And they actually sponsored me for half the season last year. I ran the Acock Rental Properties Chevy. So that's on there. And also, one other thing, and probably the last thing I want to touch on, is on the side of my car is reserved for, and on the rear pillar, and I don't know if you can show that or not.
Yeah, that's a tough one to get to.
Yeah, that's a tough one to get to. But what it is it's the Wilson Police Department badge, along with the letters MJ underneath. What that represents is Officer MJ Harrison of the police, or Wilson Police Department. Another friend of their family's was first on scene with Cannon when he was injured, and he scooped Cannon up. This guy's a hero.
I'm pointing at it right now.
He scooped Cannon up and rode with him to the hospital
with my mouse.
And he told Cannon to, you know, wait for your mommy, you know, and he did. And so that's kind of a backstory behind that, and we want to recognize that man for what he did, not just for Cannon, but for his family and for that entire community. I know, even being so far away in Ohio, I feel safer knowing that guy's on duty. And we just want to whoa. Sorry. We just want to Jeffrey getting a little out of shape here. I'll give him a bump.
When you were talking about the police officer there, I'd like to thank the number 9 car. I was able to get out his side door and actually use my mouse to highlight that logo that you were talking about. It was perfect timing.
Yeah, and that's why there you go. You might even see a Dale Earnhardt
that's
sticker
on the other
there.
pillar, yeah.
Yeah, because those two spots are reserved for my heroes, and MJ Harrison definitely is one of those guys. So that's why that's there, and that's why this car that I'm driving has been just really significant. And this is where we landed with our permanent thing. This is probably the car I will retire in, but that won't be for a long time, because we're going to keep going for Cannon. You know, until justice is served, and you know that might be a while. So, hopefully it'll be sooner than later. But that's why I drive this car, because it has all of Cannon's favorite things on it.
Yeah, man, that's a solid paint job. You got a pretty solid race going out here too. It's just everybody going for a drive.
Yeah, 7 laps to go till we pit. I think everybody's kind of taking it easy.
Now, do you think everybody's going to try to jump down there at the same time? You guys usually try to split the pack in half, I find.
I don't know. Some guys will go a lap or two early, depending on... See, because now, let's see, with 7 go, how many does that leave? See, it's going to be real close. Even if you run those 7 laps out, that's going to leave you 18.
And I'm also thinking about Ken Roberts up front, the 55. He's led every single lap. He's led all 13 of these laps. So he's breaking that air up there, so he's going to be a little bit less on fuel.
I will probably go on the second time. I was able to save a little bit on that pace lap. I was clutching coming down there, so and then I don't know, somebody got mixed up and kind of turned around on that pace lap. So I don't know what happened there, but I wasn't able to clutch as much as I normally do. So this is going to be close on fuel. It's going to be real close.
Two cars that were that happened to, it's Doug McCluskey in the 25 and Tom Dixon in the 45. They're showing on the scoring loop 36 and 40 seconds behind. So on the little tussle back there, unfortunately, it looks like they may have taken some damage.
Oh boy. Well, if a yellow should happen to come out, that'll save them.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're coming up to pit stops. Maybe they catch a yellow, they can get in there and bash those dents out of that thing, get back in it again. And I remember Bob saying in the drivers' meeting at the start of the race that we do 2 lucky dogs. So even if they both go a lap down on a yellow, they'll both come back around anyway.
Right. Yep, exactly. And we don't do wave arounds here, so I would consider them to be, yes, indeed, lucky dogs if the yellow does come out. So,
yeah.
That Ken Roberts, remember I called him from the beginning. I said he was one tough dude to beat. And like I said, these races, man, are not easy to win. These guys make it look easy sometimes, but I'll tell you what, it is not. To race at this level, in this mod, in this sim, you have to have, a good 5, 6, 7 years experience just to get to this level to race, to be able to race with these guys as clean as they do.
Yeah, you really need, I wouldn't recommend jumping in here. The Elliots won't let you race. They'll take you out for test laps, but they'll be like, hey man, you got to go practice, because we've got guys in here that have been playing this thing for a long time. And if you're playing it for 6 days, it's not good enough.
Doug must have been involved in that.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Him and Tom Dixon both. I'm going to go get on their cars and see if I can see any damage.
Okay. I'm going to go. You can go ahead and turn my mic off. I got some work to do here, and we're projected laps 3 on fuel, so we're going to be pitting here real soon.
We'll be keeping an eye on you. Have a good race, bud.
10-4, thank you.
Brian Wolf in the 29 Cannon riding shotgun. Let's check out to see if there's any damage on these cars here. I'm not really seeing any. I don't see any damage on these cars. Riding on here right now with Doug McCluskey in the 25. It's got Cannon on the back of the car there with the wings. An incredible Hulk paint job. Of course, Tom Dixon in the 45 with the Batman. See, now he was able to catch on to the draft there and actually keep some speed, so I'm not seeing any damage on these cars. So I am hoping, because this race is set to moderate, you can take a little bit of damage, but if you can get in the draft, I've raced with guys that have had parts of the car removed by the pit crews. If you crash hard enough, they will remove fenders and trunk lids and stuff. And if you can get into the draft and get a push, you can stay up to pace. A car that is missing a trunk lid can still do 200 mile an hour if you're in the middle of a pack like this.
These guys are starting on their pit stop cycles, Blaine.
Roger that. Pit stops are coming up right now, ladies and gentlemen, so we'll see who decides to dive in here. And it is Ken Roberts. We're going to follow them down. They need to be down to 55. We got a spinner. That'll be Nate in the 079. The 26 got around there. That's Billy Elliser. We're still green because that happened off the racing line.
Oh, I might have messed up, Blaine. My fuel light just came on.
0-40 goes low. 43.
So cars are now pitting. And this is lap number, the end of lap number 19. So Roberts was in first, and he will come out in first. It will take a couple of laps for scoring to kind of reset itself. So the ticker you see across the top of your screen, thanks to Peter Dinkin for creating that thing. It's a fantastic option for these old games. That ticker will not really give out any accurate information for probably the next 2 minutes or so until all these guys go through their pit stops. So Wolf made it to pit road. He thought there might have been an issue. Looks like the Spider-Man car is slow back there, unfortunately. And that, he may be out of gas. 21 of Randy. He is able to get towed out. He can get towed to his pit stop if he is out of fuel and get gas. Of course, that'll obviously it takes time to get towed, but he's pretty close to pit road, so it shouldn't take too long. Oh, we have a blown engine in the 7-Eleven. I believe John Godfrey in the Hubba Bubba car seems to have an engine issue. So unfortunately for John, he is probably going to have to retire from the race, and he just did. Currently is showing Kelly running in first place. Statistics are coming in for the 7-Eleven. He has retired due to a engine camshaft failure. And this game might be 20 years old, but all that stuff does come into play here. And we have yellow on the course. So these cars will now slow down to 70 miles per hour. And we will go into replay mode and see exactly why that yellow flag has come out. So let's see if I can find it. Okay,
There's a lucky dog you were talking about, Blaine.
What is going on here? Oh, it appears to be the yellow flag. Did the yellow flag come out for... Hey, Brian, you got me?
I got you.
Did the yellow flag come out for Godfrey in the 7-Eleven blowing a motor?
I believe so, yeah, because he was still down on the track when it happened.
Yeah, because that's all I'm seeing. I noticed the yellow come out.
Yeah, because pit road incidents will not bring out the yellow.
No. So he blew a motor. And it looks like...
They're working it out now on the scoring and the...
Yeah, that's funny. I'm watching the replay from John. And he just... I'll get inside the cockpit view here. Because I don't know what happened. He came off of the pits. And then the car just started smoking. Yeah, his RPM just dropped when he went into second gear, so that's the reason, because he was about ready to enter the racing line. He shifted into second gear and the motor blew up. So I don't know if he missed a shift or what happened there, but that's too bad for John Godfrey in the 7-Eleven driving the Hubba Bubba.
Yeah, it is. If my mic's on, is my mic on?
Yes, you are live.
Okay. Sorry, I never know. But anyway, yeah, the 7-Eleven, John Godfrey, that was the Hubba Bubba car. And he was just, I don't know, he was down on the apron just coming off the pit road when his engine let loose. And
yeah, it was
I know a couple of them got turned around on pit road. I heard them say, because I came by the second time and just happened to come out in 5th place. And so that, I mean, that really helps me. And I'm clutching right now, so good on fuel.
I have to.
Right on. Yeah, I noticed the yellow was out. I had no idea why. And then when I went in to find the replay, I noticed the only cause for that unfortunately, would have been Godfrey. And yeah, we followed him down the pit road. He made his pit stop. He came out, wasn't speeding. He wound her up to, 8,000 RPM, shifted into second, and then about half a second after that, smoke right up the windshield.
Yeah, I saw it from back here.
And I don't know if he would have missing a shift off of a pit stop, you're not really violently shifting. So I don't know. Must have just, according to the timer, it was a camshaft failure.
Well, at the time we were green. I mean, that's happened to me before. At the time we were green, so he might have been, he might have just, if he's got an H pattern shifter or something like that, you never know. Or it could be just a random thing. It said camshaft, so,
Yep. Engine camshaft is what it's showing on the board. So I guess he unfortunately just had a bad day for engines. There's usually at least one car that seems to catch that issue, I find. Like to have a second car have an engine problem, unless it's driver error, because most of these guys, well, all of these guys I know, they shift manually. And some guys even use a clutch to shift. I use an automatic clutch.
Same here, yeah.
But if he uses manual clutching with an H pattern shift, he could have flubbed a gear. But coming out of the pits, I find that hard to believe. To me, it just sounds like an engine failure, especially a guy like that. I've never seen that happen to him before. Nate's got some fans in the chat, betting. Where is Nate, by the way? Yeah, he's got people hollering on, "Go, Nate!" Heart shapes. I don't know who they are. Obviously, family members who are sending heart shape emojis to Nate. I'll let him know.
I'll tell him right now.
I'm going to check Nate, though, because he did get turned around in that first pit cycle. He's still running, though.
Did he?
There's Nate. Yep, he's good.
Yeah, he's another one. Actually, we should touch on his car. I believe he's driving another Marvel Comics.
We're looking at him right now. He's driving Marvel Comics, the 079.
Yeah, and again, Cannon's favorite was the comic book heroes, and that's why we do what we do. These cars are so neat, man, and I'm so appreciative of these guys. I can't say enough about just the class of these guys. You know what I mean? They're just top notch. I know I sound like a broken record, but these are the guys to race with, man. When you reach this level of racing, it's just, on and off the track, these guys are just a class act. I mean, we all make mistakes, you know what I mean? It's Talladega, it is what it is, but they're always, oh my God, that was my fault, whatever. And it's just been so much fun.
Greg Palmer in the 22 Crocs car, he's getting a lot of shout out in the chat too.
Is he?
These guys got fans.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Cool.
Of course, Brian Wolf as well, but we do have Greg getting shout-outs. We got Nate getting shout-outs. Actually, I'm rolling back through this chat, and actually, Greg's got more shout-outs than Nate, if we're keeping score. Are lights out on the pace car yet? We did have some cars a lap down. Lights are off on the pace car, so we will be going green flag racing next time around.
Yeah, and guess what else? I got enough fuel to finish this race.
Ah, so that showed up at the right time. You said you were clutching a little bit too, right? Trying to conserve.
Yeah, I'm 4 laps to the good now, so we should be good to go.
Oh, you
good
got
to go,
lots
full
then.
bore. Maybe we might explain to the viewers too about how we race back after 10, under 10.
Right, yep. Once you guys get rolling green, I'll definitely touch on that.
Show that, Blaine, if you can, too. Let's mention that Gillette car one more time and really show it. I don't know if you were showing it before when we were talking about it, but...
I have talked about it in the sprints, but I'm on them right now. I'll let it rip.
Oh, okay.
1.1.2.
Yeah, just to show the viewers that Gillette car, what it looks like, the shapes and the colors. It kind of reminds me of that park down there, because we were down there last year, and the shapes and the colors really are exemplary, I guess, for lack of a better word. It's really cool. And if the viewers would like, they can research that park and donate to the Miracle Field and to into the renovation of that place.
Yeah, I'm getting a great view at the side of Bob's car of the 56 Gillette.
That's really cool. That's the Gillette car we've been mentioning, and
Yep.
Here we go, Green.
Green Flag Racing, we'll get back to you. If you need me, just holler, buddy. Green Flag Racing here.
And forward.
Talladega virtual Talladega Super Speedway. NASCAR Racing 2003 season is the name of the game. This race being run in honor of Blake Hinnant. 220 miles in total tonight. Main event being 101 of those. And of course the sprints. Little 10-lap shootouts. The winner of the shootouts, remind you again, was Rodney Sellens. Captured that by 3 points with a two-way tie for second. During the break there, I did eat a muffin, and it was very, very good. Raisin Bran. So hopefully you guys didn't hear me chewing and burping and all that fun stuff. But if you were, I apologize. If you did, I apologize. I've been sitting in this chair for a while. About 5 hours. But it's all good. We're good to go. Green Flag Racing going right now. This is we are currently on lap number 27 of 38. Tight squeeze there. The 00 of Kelly Buckshot chooses to slide up in front of Sullins to take the high line, which at the current time has the most cars in it, which, as we've spoken of before on super speedways and NASCAR, the more in a line, the faster they go. So that bottom line definitely needs some help. As you've heard Brian speak of in the past in this race, he's a big fan of that low line. Any problems happen, hopefully they slide away from you. Well, there's the 57 of Bob Williams. And we'd like to send our condolences out to the Williams family for their loss. And Bob was able to make the race tonight, so that is super cool. And he gets to drive a super cool car. And sorry to hear what happened to them. And so far, so good. All these cars have been painted, like I say, custom for this race. Except for the 43. He's always got that STP car. It's hard to beat that thing. The red, white, and blue. The Wayne Enterprises 57 holding the high line. Fifth in line off the top. I'm a big fan personally when I race, especially at Talladega or Daytona, of the high line. It feels like you can just drive the car. Oh, a little bit of a check up in the back there. Number 31. Let's see if I can get on him. That's Brad Otto. Good save by Brad. Oh, another bump. He saved it, and he got bumped by Dixon. Oh, these guys are going to collect him, though. They're going to keep him up to speed. Let's back that up a bit and see if I can find a different angle on that. Is he actually almost
nice save
got
by
it
the
right,
31 car there
right
a second
sideways.
ago, Blaine. But now we're racing 9 to go.
Here in replay now, watching the 31 he got sideways. That's amazing. And he almost got turned again right here. He didn't give enough room to the 45. He almost took himself out, but that was a really nice save by Brad Otto in the 31. We're going to go back live racing now. Currently showing the 31 of Brad Otto running in 16th of 20 positions. A little bit off the pace here. He does have some help behind him, Gary. Although Gary may also be a little bit off the pace as well. Let's jump back up front here. Let's try Greg Palmer, currently running in the 4th position. Let's check out the current standings right now as we sit. Current standings at the line last time around was Kelly Causey. Rodney in 2nd, Ken in 3rd. Greg in fourth, Bob in fifth. And the rest you can see on your screen. You can see John Godfrey at the bottom of your screen of that current session list. Minus 9 laps behind. He is the one, unfortunately, in the 7-Eleven car, had engine trouble. And the camshaft decided to leave the engine. It's not a good spot for the camshaft. Camshaft needs to be inside the engine. Turning all them valves, making stuff explode. When I say stuff, I mean fuel. So it's really the only thing that needs to. Unfortunately for him, that happened very early in the race, but it's just one of those mechanical failures that can happen in this game. But one time I was racing with a guy who had complete and utter tire problems the whole time. He'd run 3 laps. Left front tire would get to be 290 degrees Fahrenheit, and he'd have to pit for a new one like every 4 or 5 laps. It's crazy. You're just destined to have a mechanical failure of sometimes it's tires, sometimes it's engines. Sometimes you could get tangled up in a black flag situation. The only real black flags you're going to see in a race like this is probably just going to be pit infractions, such as speeding onto pit road, speeding off of pit road, under yellow if you overtake another car. The administrators inside this race, though, can fix a lot of those black flags. If something happens very strange, they'll clear it for you. Much like the times I run with Rolling Thunder Gaming, the middle line, as you can see, these guys here are running right now. They're running that yellow dotted line on the left wheels of the car. They're not right down on that yellow stripe. That middle line tends to be the fastest way around this track. Eventually, there is going to need to be a second line forming up here because we are about to take lap number 35 of 38. So we are coming down to the checkered flag right now. Everybody's still running single file. Looks like Wolf's looking to the high side. That could be a bad move, because you definitely need people to follow you if you're going to do that. And he has a couple. Bob Dixon staying low with the 57 of Bob Williams. Greg Palmer, Ken Roberts, and Rodney Sullins and Kelly Cossey in first. Buckshot is leading this race in a 00 car, sponsored in part by Aquaman. Want more information about Aquaman and upcoming feature film? Google it. Second line beginning to form, led by Brian Wolf in the 29 car. Buckshot holding strong out the front. Sullins pushing him. Very easy race to call, ladies and gentlemen. These guys are awesome. Green flag pit stops. No issues in the pits. Well, actually, that's a lie. There was a couple issues in the pits, but those drivers are still out here. Nate was one of them. He's currently being scored right now in 8th position behind Brian Wolf. That may change, actually. They just crossed the stripe, but he's 8-ish. He got turned around during that first cycle of pit stops, and he's actually right in there still. Wolf makes a move to the bottom. Gap opened up there. Sullins making a move to the outside. You know these guys know when to make these moves. They want to go 3 wide at the front row. They're going to go 3 wide at the front row, 2 rows deep. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys are psychotic. This is going to be 3 wide for 1 full lap. They are about to take the white flag right now. This is lap number 38 of 38. This is the final lap. And these highly skilled, intelligent drivers are definitely going to make this thing worth watching to the end. Somehow Ken Roberts has gone from 4th place to 1st right now in the flash car down the bottom of the track. And they are forcing that middle line. It is going to be tight up top. There's focus currently on the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott. He's going to push to the outside, trying to take that Gillette Athletic Complex to the front. It looks to me like it's going to be Ken. Ken has won, if I can find him. There he is. Ken Roberts. And Bob Dixon and Jeffrey Elliott within... It's way too close to count. That was absolutely fantastic. And we've got... Well, yeah, man. Ken with the win. Holy moly.
All right, we're going to pull you up for the factoids, Blaine.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Okay, guys. Blaine is now in the room with us from the booth. I'm sorry. We're going to let the viewers at home listen in on Bob Dixon's factoids. He is one of the owners here at Talladega Nights, and we had a blast tonight. And take it away, Bob.
All right, guys. An honorable mention was Billy Elizer. In 5th place was Brian Wolf. Brian did a 47.856 second lap. That's 200.101 mile per hour on lap 30. 4th place was Nate. Nate did a 47.838 second lap. That's 200.176 on lap 30. 3rd was Chris Elliott. The Doritos man did a 47.831 second lap. That's 200.205 on lap 30. 2nd place was John Diesel 95, did a 47.830 second lap. That's 200.209 lap 35. And the hottest lap tonight goes to the 90 car, Bernie Mobbs. Bernie did a 47.751 second lap at 200.541 mile per hour on lap 35. And the most laps led was Ken Roberts. Ken led 19. Kelly Causey led 15. Gary Heiser led 3. Rodney Sullins led 1. And that's your factoids of tonight.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob, so much, man. That was such a blast.
Thank you, guys.
While we're still live on the broadcast here, I want to shout out to all you guys who came out and thank you personally, because what an exciting finish that was. That was one of the most outstanding races we've had here, and the sprint races were just incredible, man. You know, I really wouldn't have liked to have.
Fantastic.
It was, Blaine, and thank you, man, for putting this on for us and for doing the broadcasting and pushing all the buttons. And you know, we did have a couple glitches in there where the server kind of did something to us, but I think we got through it just fine. It was a smooth. I haven't seen the broadcast yet, but all the server stuff and all that. And Chris Elliott, Bob Dixon, Jeffrey Elliott, the league owners here, and they've recently made me admin as well. Thank you guys so much for giving me this TeamSpeak and the RLM Arena for tonight to hold this event. Without you guys, this doesn't happen. Without any of you guys, this doesn't happen. I hope we made Cannon's family proud tonight. And we will see you next year, guys. I had so much fun. I cannot thank you enough. That just outstanding job by everybody. I'm very pleased.
May I say something on behalf of the drivers, please?
Sure. Absolutely.
This would not happen without you, Brian. Without you, we wouldn't have raced tonight. It's great to honor the memory of Cannon. I'm getting choked up, I'm sorry. Great turnout, great drivers, great races, I have to say. And thank you for having us do this for Cannon's family and Cannon himself. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Brian, thanks for all your hard work, man. I know you worked really hard.
You're the best, Brian.
Did an awesome job, Brian.
Yep, thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, Brian, if there was the definition of an invitational, you invited the cream of the crop, and you guys didn't disappoint. This is awesome. So easy to broadcast this thing. That main event was unbelievable. Not one yellow, or there was a yellow because of the blown engine, but really it doesn't, there was no big one. It's just phenomenal.
I just like to say this, Jeffrey Elliott, guys. Thank you for coming out, Talladega Nights. I'm so honored to host this race for you guys, and what a finish! I mean, you can't ask for a better finish than that. So, thank you very much, guys. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was insane. That was pretty nuts there at the end. I think we're going to be signing off here in just a minute, but thank you guys for putting on such a race. I mean, that was I'm giddy. I mean, that was.
Don't forget the winner. Let's congratulate that winner.
Oh, absolutely, Ken Roberts, man, great job, and just a tremendous job. And Rodney Sullins, our sprints champion, the Forever 5 sprints champion. You guys got some really cool trophies coming your way, courtesy of Crossbow. Mr. and Mrs. Doug Miluski is sending the trophies. It should be up this week sometime, so I'll need to get your guys' mailing address. So congratulations on that, guys. That is a very honored and coveted award to get the trophies for these. Is just outstanding job on everybody's part tonight.
Yeah, like if you guys wanted to give your addresses out right now, it's live on the internet. We can take them down by I got pencil. Just start. I got pencil.
Now the jokes come.
Yeah, well, story of my life.
And Blaine, thank you so much for your talent, young man. You did a great job. Can't wait to watch it online.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Yeah, give it a watch. There's a lot of people interacting with this thing, and all the drivers were getting shout-outs in the YouTube chat. It peaked at over 100 viewers at a time. So, yeah, awesome. Definitely give it a watch. I hope you guys like it.
Oh, it's absolutely good. Also, for the sprint winners, I know Rodney Solins was one. I believe Diesel, you won one, right? John Forgione from our New York connection. Okay. Anyway, the sprint winners, make sure I get your mailing addresses, please.
Okay, they are Brian Wolf, Ken Roberts, wherever there's a 5, Rodney Sullins, and Diesel. And that's
10-4. 10-4.
That's
okay,
5, right? We did 5 races.
Yep.
Oh, well, sorry, because Rodney won 2. He won the second race and the 5th race.
10-4. Yeah. So we had 3 different winners, including myself. So you guys are making it easy on shipping on me too. I really appreciate that.
Need a bigger box for Rodney.
Well, this is shout out from Mooresville, North Carolina, not too far from Wilson, North Carolina. So hopefully we'll get over there real soon.
Okay, Blaine, are we out?
Oh no, we're not out. We're going broadcasting still, so it's all good.
You want to do a driver's congratulations to the winner? Top 3.
Yeah, we can separate. And actually, we can just do that in here with everybody. I think it'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool thing.
Quick one, share the
So first of all, we'll take. Well, we already did an interview with Rodney Sullins on the sprints win. So we'll give Ken Roberts here a chance to shout out to whoever he wants, and we can go from there because he is our main champion for tonight. Congratulations again, Ken. If you want, now's your opportunity to tell us a little bit about yourself and all that.
Thank you, Brian. I really appreciated the opportunity to come and race with you guys. It was a lot of fun. Had big fun. A couple races there. Me and Brian got neck and neck in one of the sprint races. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we were close on that going into the last race. You were 10, and I think I had 10 and you had 9. So there was 1 point. I was 1 point out from, and then we both got caught up in some wreck. So that was pretty neat. But good job on the main win, man. I'm glad to see you win. I even mentioned you a couple times during the broadcast saying how tough you were to beat out here.
I just took the right move at the right time. Because it was I seen you guys coming there on the bottom, and guys took off, went up top. I said, well, it's time to go. So then when I seen you get behind me, and then or Bob Dixon got behind me, I thought I was in good shape then.
Just class act all the way, man. Good job tonight. That was a lot of fun. Good job every time, man. We have so much fun. I can't even emphasize that enough at Talladega nights here. I mean, we're on every Friday night and now Sunday nights. And it's just been a blast racing here the last 8 months. I'm glad these guys put this together this way, and I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. And thanks again for coming out and racing for Cannon, man. We appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity, and thank you and Blaine for doing the announcing, and my boys over there at BSRL, the Greg and Rodney and Buckshot. Those guys, they do. We work together quite well. So as you can tell, they're later stages of that race, we were all nose to tail, and Causey gave us the green light, said you guys have at it, so we had at it.
Who finished in second?
Bob, either Bob or you. Yeah, Bob Dixon did a really good job tonight too, man. This guy's no slouch.
Good job, Bobby.
Good job, Bobby.
Thank you. You were
Good job,
third,
Bob.
Jeffrey.
Good job, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeffrey, you were third. So here's your podium finish, buddy. Congratulations, man. I'm glad you got it, especially in that paint job, because we did touch on that for a little bit. The Gillette Athletic Center and the importance of that, and so that's really cool to see you get on the podium with that paint scheme.
Well, I tell you, I worked hard. I think my car was a little damaged, and I was in the back with a half a lap to go, and I don't know how I got behind Bob Dixon and Roberts actually going for the win. So it was awesome to race with those guys. All these guys are awesome. So thank you very much. I just had a lot of fun, man, and this is what we do at Talladega Nights. You want to do it again, we'll do it every year. So thanks, guys, for all you coming out to support this cause and Cannon and Brian Wolf and their family as well. So thank you very much.
No trouble, man. Thank you guys again for putting this on. I mean, I can't emphasize enough the caliber of fellows we have in here every single week. And thank you, everybody, for showing up and watching the broadcast tonight and supporting us, and especially supporting Cannon, because we need to just keep doing what we're doing. There's more to do. I always tell him that, we got more to do. But just keep saying his name. Tell his story to anybody who will listen. Blaine, with that, I think we could sign off unless you guys have anything else.
Well, I was going to say, Bob Williams, thanks for coming out, man. We're still praying for you. You're in our thoughts. Bob Dixon, I hope you heal up well. Crossbow, if you're still here. If not, I hope you feel better, buddy. I hope everybody gets better. God bless.
Yeah. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, Bob. Prayers, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. I'm going to watch the replay.
There you go. That's a wrap, guys. Thanks for everybody coming out.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care, guys.
Yep, good job, fellas.
Good, Blaine?
Yep, good night.
Thanks, guys.
Good job, Blaine. Thank you for hosting this for the recording.
Yeah, thank you for allowing us to use the Talladega Nights equipment to do so.
Yeah. Hope we can do it again.
Absolutely.
Great job.
Can't wait to watch
Thank
the
you,
broadcast.
Brian.
Yeah, the broadcast
Yeah, way
right
more
now
than
is
welcome.
almost
Thank you.
4 hours in length. So
Wow. I'll be getting up late tomorrow.
That's a 12-pack right there.
And Diesel, thanks
Yeah,
for
but at
coming,
least you
brother.
can forward it.
Thanks for having us.
I just tuned in lap 4. Watching from lap 4.
John, thanks so much for coming out, man. It really means a lot to me that you came out here, because you've always supported my racing and Canon and stuff, and you've had me over at ECT numerous times. I really appreciate you coming out and representing, brother.
Well, thanks. I got to tell you,
Well, we are going to run to some end credit sequences right now, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, everybody, very much for watching this, if you did. It took a lot of effort from a lot of people, as you've already heard, so I won't repeat everything that's already been said, but thank you very much for watching. If you do subscribe to this YouTube channel and click the little notification bell, in the next couple of weeks you will see a couple highlight videos we'll put up on here. All the videos you saw in between the sprint races will also be available on the YouTube channel as well. And like I said, thanks again. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming on down. Have yourself some good mosh pitting. Keep your stick on the ice. Say his name. Cannon Hinnant